I would think so, but you still got to do the hard work up the middle, because you can crush them, you can break their spirit up the middle of the field, and then you can give the ball some air. But on the edges, Nico Hines and Braden Trindle, as they're led out now by Dane Gagai, the Newcastle Knights, they should be able to really strut their stuff. And this is the type of game that I've seen Cronulla do really well in before.
So Dane Gagai is their fullback and captain. Their wingers are Dom Young and jumper number 18, Greg Marju. Their centres are Bradman Best in 4, Fletcher Hunt in 5. 5'8" in 9 is Phoenix Crossland. Halfback is Jack Cogger. Front row is Jacob Saifidi and Leo Thompson. And the hooker in 14 is Jaden Brayley. The second row is Jermaine McEwen and Kai Pearce-Ball. Tyson Frizzell is the lock forward. The bench is made up of 6 Jake Arthur, 15 Matt Croker, 16 Thomas Cant, and 17 Elijah Salesa, Leo Moana. And the 18th man is James Schiller in jumper number 3. They're wearing their predominantly white away strip with blue, white and red V taking up the whole of the front of their jersey. The Cronulla Sharks in their traditional sky blue with the white hoop and the black shorts. Their fullback Will Kennedy, wingers Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Molitala, Moen Hiroti and Kale Ito are the centres. Braden Trindle, Nico Hines the halves. Adam Fanua, Blake Toby Rudolph. The front row is Blake Brayley, the hooker. Billy Burns, Teague Wilton. The second row is Jesse Colquhoun, the lock forward. Ehepa Puru, Sai Sifa Talakai, Tom Hazelton and Braden Hamlin-Ueli are on the bench. Daniel Atkinson is the 18th man, and the referee is Gerard Sutton. Dave Munro and Damien Brady are the touch judges, and Adam G will be in the bunker this afternoon. I beg your pardon. Jaden Farrell is the 18th man in jumper number 20. We are underway. Blake Brayley kicks off down towards the northern end of Shark Park, and Saifidi has the first hit up for the afternoon for the Newcastle Knights, and Jacobs brought to ground about 15 away from his own goal line. One off the ruck, inside they go to Dom Young, takes it over the 20, and he'll be brought down as they make the tackle through Colquhoun. Open side left they continue. Leo Thompson, who's heading to Canterbury next season, of course. Second last game in Newcastle colours. Plays the ball 31 away from his line for Brayley at dummy half. To go one off the ruck left-hand side, Jermaine McEwen, and he's brought to ground about 20 in from the eastern touchline and 10 short of the halfway line. As Frizzell goes on a carry towards halfway, he's about 5 metres still in his own territory, and it's the final play for Newcastle in the first set of the afternoon. So the high kick goes downfield from Crossland, right into the sun as well for Will Kennedy, but he does really well on a blistering afternoon for late winter, and Will Kennedy will play the ball 20 metres away from his own goal line, but he loses it as he gets up to play it. Leo Thompson and Jacob Saifidi with the pressure at that southern end of Shark Park, and Will Kennedy with what would have been the first play the ball of the afternoon for Cronulla loses it 20 away from his own goal line. Newcastle scrum.
Yeah, well, you could see Will Kennedy go up, blowing up. I thought he was trying to get his teammates to challenge it, but I reckon they would have lost. So I'm glad they didn't this early in the game. But it's a poor mistake there from the Sharks. He did a good job. He was underneath that high ball. You could see him squinting, comes up with a good take, but just had to get up and play that ball, and got a little bit lazy in that play the ball. But good opportunity for the Knights now.
Yeah, minute and a half gone, no score. Brayley's at the base of the scrum, goes left to Crossland, then Cogger, and the ball back on the inside. Sees the Knights with it 21 metres away from Cronulla's line, getting up and playing the ball as they come open side. That was Kai Pearce-Ball. They go towards the 10-metre line, and they're only about 11 away, getting up and playing it now. Coming back left out at dummy half is Brayley, gets it away to Crossland, and then Frizzell is held up in the tackle looking for a way through, but he can't find it, so he's 3 away from the line. I come back right from Brayley. Leo Thompson goes towards the posts, and he's going to get 6 again as well. He's centimetres short of the line. He might have even touched the white stripe there as he went to ground, but he gets up and plays it. No try. They come open side right. It's short, close to Kai Pearce-Ball towards the line, and he's held up in the tackle again. 3 away. No score. Cronulla and Newcastle. Brayley scoots out a dummy half. Saifidi close to the line. There's 4 Cronulla players there to stop him. He almost found a way through for Newcastle's first try. Brayley long out of dummy half. Goes left to Crossland. Gets it away to Cogger. And then 8 away from the line. Getting up to play it is McEwen. Out of dummy half. Brayley short for Leo Thompson again. 3 away from the line. It's final play for Newcastle. There's no score. Brayley comes left out of dummy half. Cogger, quick hands to Bradman Best. Good tackle around the legs. He goes to his knees, tries to get the pass away, but it goes over his shoulder and over the touchline on the eastern side. But it's been touched by Cronulla, and Newcastle will get another set here with a scrum, but they're going to challenge this one.
I thought that would come off Bradman Best pass.
Cronulla are challenging the ruling of pass knockdown done by them.
Yeah, I think it looked like it comes straight off
We're on
the
last
Cronulla
touch.
Sharks. But that's from here. I'd like to see this second replay. Bradman Best gets the ball. He's going, unless they say that's tackle, but his ball hasn't hit the ground, goes to throw it. Comes off
Bradman
Nico
Best is
Hines.
entitled to offload. The ball carrying arm doesn't hit the ground. Just need to determine if it hits and is played at by Nico.
Well, I'm going to say it is played at, because Nico's coming in. If you can see his arm comes up. Oh, it comes off his knee. He might get a whale this month.
Yeah, the big question, John Gibbs on the touchline, is whether it's played up.
Well, he's playing at the man, so I don't. He's got his
Nico
arms
is
up.
reaching in and therefore playing at the ball when it
fair
hits
enough.
his leg.
Now there's another
Playing
example.
through to see where the ball goes.
That was my first thought.
When is it offload?
Is a
You're making a tackle.
squandered
Contact it.
The ball then
challenge.
goes into touch
During
off
the finals,
Sharks.
these may be imperative. Now, if the referee mucks up and the other team can take chances, it could be. So that's a bad one. That's not knowing the rules as well.
Yeah, so already Cronulla have lost their review. They've given away a set restart. They've given away 2 scrums, and Newcastle are attacking their line. Tyson Frizzell, ball back on the inside for Leo Thompson. Can the Knights score first and get on their way to a potential upset? Brayley's at dummy half. He goes right. Another set here for Newcastle, and they will start it 4 metres away from Cronulla's line at the southern end through Frizzell. Plays it for Brayley, short for Leo Thompson, and Thompson centimetres away again, adjacent to the left-hand upright. They come right now. Quick out of the line. Good defending by Teague Wilton to stop Crossland one-on-one. Crossland plays it 10 away from the line. Right to Cogger. Kai Pearce-Paul fumbles but holds on, and Pearce-Paul will take the tackle 4 away from Cronulla's line, 12 in from the western touchline. Left, Cogger was at a wide first receiver, goes to Crossland, gets it away to Best, tries to palm off for Rotti, but he's brought to ground 8 away from the line. Final play for Newcastle, still no score. They come to the right for Crossland to kick towards the post. Frizzell goes up, so too close to the line and scoring, I think, Fletcher Hunt. He goes up, takes the catch, and Fletcher Hunt goes and scores the try next to the upright. Frizzell was up there, but he didn't get anywhere near the ball, and Fletcher Hunt said thank you very much. And Newcastle, who've had all the running through the opening 4.5 minutes, lead 4 points to 0 with a kick to come.
Yeah, good work here by Newcastle Knights. Right from the very start, they got their way upfield nicely. They come up a good chase, and then Will Kennedy knocks the ball on in the very first play the ball that they get with the ball, and they haven't had a touch of that ball since. And they've had set restarts, a couple of penalties go their way, and then all of a sudden a nice little kick on the spot.
Yeah.
Fletcher Hunt comes up with a beautiful take. There's a lot of traffic there as well. Gets up nice and high and gets a little bit of a run at the try line. Scores a simple try right next to the post. That's a beautiful start for the Knights.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, that is a great start. That should sharpen their desire now, the Sharks, because that's been a terrible start. They come up with some really sloppy play. And just getting back to that one of Nico Hines, his leg is part of his body, and he's putting his hand in, basically trying to get an intercept. So it's touched his knee, but his leg is part of his body when it's making the motion to go towards the ball. To waste a challenge like that is irresponsible.
Now the Newcastle Knights, through Jack Cogger, have an opportunity to lead 6 points to 0 after less than 6 minutes of play. Jared Sutton pulls time off, and now Cogger moves in, so time goes back on. He adds the extras at the southern end, and they do lead 6 points to 0. So great start for Newcastle, with Fletcher Hunt scoring his 5th try of the season. He scored 3 straight in games against Melbourne, New Zealand and Canberra a few weeks ago, and moved back to the wing last week for the first time since about round 14. So he likes it on the wing, does Fletcher Hunt, and he scored another one around the grounds in NRLW. First half, Brisbane leading the Bulldogs 6-0. Second half, New South Wales Women's Rugby League, Souths 18, Illawarra 8. Jersey Flegg, Manly have been beaten by Cronulla 50-24. Second half, the Tigers lead the Roosters 36-22. Half-time in Queensland Women's Rugby League, Brisbane Tigers leading Wynnum 22-0. Third quarter in the AFLW, Melbourne leading Collingwood 16-15. As Saifidi gets us back underway for the Newcastle Knights. 0467 920 222 if you'd like to send us a text message. Dom Young with the second play after points for Newcastle is brought down 27 away from his line. You're with John Gibbs, Luke Lewis, Glenn Lauder on ABC Sports coverage of Newcastle away away to the Cronulla Sharks on Sunday afternoon footy. Newcastle have the ball through Marju, 11 short of halfway, and then one off the ruck. Tyson Frizzell makes another 10 metres or so to play it just inside his own territory. Brayley comes open side right, one off the ruck again for Leo Thompson. He's 9 metres inside Cronulla's half on the final play. Brayley will come right. Crossland will kick down towards this corner, waiting for it and taking it well is Mulatalo. It's a good chase as well. Newcastle looking really up for this one. Dane Gagai makes the tackle, 10 away from Cronulla's line. And KL Idol will have pretty much the first hit up of the game for Cronulla. 7 minutes into this game, they've had almost no football. They go to the right, and Nico Hines gets it away to Sione Katoa. Katoa will play the ball 18 away from his line in centre field, but Newcastle will look to keep Cronulla boxed down here again. They finally make it over the 20-metre line and out of their red zone, but Hiroti is slow to get up, and they'll get a penalty for it. He looks to be in all sorts of trouble on the ground here, Hiroti, and Newcastle give away the penalty 23 metres away from their own line, so a good piggyback out of their own end here for Cronulla.
I don't even know what the penalty was for.
Hit his head as he went to ground at the end.
So there's nothing in that tackle there. There's nothing in that tackle. I don't understand what the penalty's for.
Are they looking Gibbsy because it looked to have been whacked on his back at the end there?
No, attacking the lower legs of the player, and they're gone. They're having a focus on it at the moment, and that's why.
They're even arguing it. But you know what? If I was Frizzell and Dane Gagai out there, I'd be arguing it too. There was nothing in that tackle. He didn't even land on the back of his legs. He chopped him around the quad and then took him to the ground. That is a horrible penalty. Even though I'm a Sharks fan, that is a terrible penalty.
It didn't look like a cannonball. The third man came in, but it didn't look like a cannonball, that's for sure. And now Cronulla will straighten towards the halfway line, and they get up and play it slowly, 5 metres short of halfway through for Newell Blake. Left-hand side come the Cronulla Sharks, 3 short of the halfway line. First time they'll be getting into Newcastle's territory here, which is quite remarkable. They come to the left-hand side, heavy collision there. Teague Wilton bounces off it. Dane Gagai goes again and brings Wilton down 5 inside Newcastle's territory. One off the ruck, open side right goes Toby Rudolph. He's 11 inside Newcastle's half. 25 in from the western touchline. They continue to the right. Nico Hines gets it away to Kennedy, and then back on the inside, changing direction is Billy Burns. 31 away from Newcastle's line. Final play, Cronulla trailing 6-0. They go short. Nico Hines to kick down the right channel. It's towards the touchline. It's batted back in, but it's batted forward, and Newcastle will get the ball for Hunt. He comes back into the middle of the field, and will start it on play 0. 20 away from his own goal line, 21 in from the eastern touchline. So a 7 tackle set here for Marzu to go straight up over the 30 in terms of that 0 tackle after the Cronulla knock on. They play the ball and they come short left-hand side here for Bradman Best. Bradman Best goes on a strong carry. He's about 5 metres away from the halfway line. We've had almost 10 minutes and Newcastle are all over Cronulla at the moment, 6 points to 0. They will take this tackle on the halfway line of Jermaine McEwen, 20 in from the eastern touchline. They continue open side right. Here's Tyson Frizzell. Goes straight through the guts as he knows how to do well against one of his former clubs. He'll play the ball 10 inside Cronulla territory. Jacob Saifidi with Cronulla still on the back foot defensively here. Final play, Newcastle are 30 away from Cronulla's line. Crossland will kick towards the southeastern corner. Will Kennedy into the sun, does well to take this one before he's brought to ground. 10 away from his own line. Newcastle 6, Cronulla 0 after 10.
Well, scary signs for the Sharks. They have not turned up with an attitude to defend today. They're getting 2 in a tackle. Newcastle rolling up the field so easy, making easy, quick play the balls, and they're really struggling. They are on the back foot every time they're defending the Sharks, so they need to switch on pretty quickly.
The voice of Luke Lewis, John Gibbs is on the sideline. I'm Glenn Lauder as Cronulla trail 6-0. We talk about teams resting players before finals and coming back potentially rusty. Well, Cronulla had the bye last week and they haven't started quickly this afternoon at all. They go right through Nico Hines and then met in a really strong tackle is Hiroti, 15 short of the halfway line. Final play, they'll be kicking well inside their own territory again. Hines from just outside his own 30. It's not a deep one either, but it is a wobbly one and it's awkward for Dom Young. It goes over the touchline. Newcastle will get the ball 33 away from their own line, pretty much right in front of John Gibbs, leading 6-0 after 11.
Well, I stuck out the Duke. I just couldn't quite get a hand on that one, but turn at right angles. The thing about this start by Cronulla, Louis, is it gives Newcastle confidence. So they would have come here thinking, oh, we're going to give it our best. But all of a sudden, they'll start to believe. And, you know, if that happens, look out.
They had the ball again. Bradman Best, 10 short of halfway. Brayley goes short, left-hand side. And Jermaine McEwen makes it up over the halfway line. He's a few centimetres inside Cronulla territory, but now he's stayed on the ground. Jermaine McEwen is grabbing at his face. Jared Sutton has called timeout again. The trainer is there for Jermaine McEwen as he looks to have been popped across the chops by Nico Hines.
Yeah, that was a forearm straight around the melon. It's funny because you'd see that giving those a penalty, but nothing here. He's moved over.
Yeah, Adam G in the bunker not getting involved in that one. And they will continue this set about a metre inside Cronulla's territory with a 6 points to 0 lead. Getting up and playing it is Saifidi. Brayley open side right for Thompson, then Crossland and Kai Pearce-Paul tries to bat away Braden Trindle, but the Cronulla players hold on and Pearce-Paul is brought to ground 11 inside Cronulla's half. Brayley comes left out of dummy half and Frizzell gets the offload back to Brayley. Now they come short. Dane Gagai has Dom Young on his outside, but Gagai takes the tackle about 11 or 12 in from the western touchline. 28 away from Cronulla's line. Final play. Newcastle leading by 6. Crossland puts the kick towards the southeastern corner again. Juggling is Mulitalo. Holds onto it though. That was shaky again from Cronulla. The fans here at Shark Park a little bit stunned. Will Kennedy trying to get away from his own 10-metre zone, and he takes the tackle of Dom Young. 15 away. 10 in from the western touchline. What a start from Newcastle. They lead 6-0. Jack Williams has the ball 20 away from his own line. There's 13 gone.
I'm just looking at the body language of the Sharks at the moment, Glenn. It's horrible. They've got no shape. They're walking. No one wants to carry and go with their teammate. They're all running one out. And they look so shell-shocked at the moment.
Hiroti plays it 28 away from his own line. This is a strong carry from Fanua Blake. He takes it to within 13 metres of halfway, but it's the last, and Trindle's kicking inside 40 again, not threatening the 40-20. It's taken by Hunt about 22 away from his own line, and they can start this set again. 35 away from their own line here, Newcastle. Another good piece of field position for them as they come away through Greg Marju, who splits the line, but it's going to be a Cronulla penalty because there was an obstruction there and he tried to take advantage of it.
Not running me like that. Challenge if you want to challenge.
Dane Gagai wasn't happy.
The difference is... Yep. So there's no disadvantage, mate. Jade, don't run at me at a penalty again.
So Jaden Brayley was the player who stopped the Cronulla players from getting to Greg Marju. The penalty for the obstruction, and Jared Sutton just explaining that to Dane Gagai that the advantage was taken by Greg Marju. So they take the tap and they continue here. Cronulla 31 away from Newcastle's line. Come left, Trindle back on the inside. Teague Wilton. Wilton takes the tackle. 25 away from the line. We'll get to text shortly. 0467 920 222, but we haven't had too many stoppages. Adam Fanua Blake straightens on his run. He's 17 away from Newcastle's line. At 14 minutes of play, Newcastle 6, Cronulla 0. Brayley out of dummy half. That's Blake for the Cronulla Sharks. And then Hines gets it away to Billy Burns. Burns is 10 away from the line. They play the ball quickly. Left-hand side comes Hines. Gets it away to Trindle. Keeps it alive for Will Kennedy. Numbers. Kyle Idor gets it away to Mulitalo. Back on the inside for Will Kennedy with the touchline approaching. And finally, Will Kennedy goes to ground 12 away from the line last play. Trindle will kick back towards the northwestern corner. As Young goes up, goes without it. It's touched by Dom Young. Picked up by Blake Brayley. Cronulla has the full set here again. 6 again for Cronulla. And Toby Rudolph will start this set on play 0-3 away from the line after the knock-on from Dom Young. They come right. Hines gets it away to Burns. That's good defending close to the line. Only about 3 away. Slowly getting up and playing the ball. Coming back left-hand side. Brayley out of dummy half. Gets it away to Hines. Through the hands of Will Kennedy and takes the tackle. 3 away from the line. 15 in from the western touchline. Blake Brayley comes right. Nico Hines for Newell Blake towards the post. He's only 2 away at that northern end. Still a 6-point deficit for Cronulla. They're trying to get back on level terms. Trindle will grub it towards the in goal. It comes off the Newcastle player's foot and then into the arms of Fletcher Hunt. About 2 metres away from the line. And Newcastle have weathered that Cronulla storm so far as Marju takes it towards the 10-metre line with a 6-0 lead and 15 gone.
Yeah, good defence there by the Newcastle Knights just to hold the Sharks out. But I'm just looking at them now. They're over in their haunches. It must be so hot down there at the moment. The energy's getting zapped out of both sides very, very quickly. But they're still doing a good job getting to their own end, the Knights.
They had the ball 30 metres away from their own line through Dom Young. Plays it for Jaden Jaden Brayley. They kick early in the count, 30 away from their own line through Jack Cogger. This could go 40-20. Will Kennedy comes across and he can't get there. What a kick from Jack Cogger from his own 30-metre line. It goes over the touchline, 18 away from Cronulla's line. It's a 40-20, meaning Newcastle get the ball back 18 away from Cronulla's line and they lead 6-0 after 16 minutes.
Yeah, beautiful vision there from Jack Cogger out of dummy half. He was about 30 metres out from his own end. He still had 2 tackles up his sleeve, but he had the angle on it. He got the kick right, and he got the Newcastle Knights in beautiful field position.
It rolled over on its belly. It was a wonderful kick. Matt Croker's on the field, plays it 11 away from the line. Left-hand side crossland. Cogger back on the inside for McEwen. Straightens towards the post. He's 5 metres away. Everything coming up gold for Newcastle at the moment. Coming out of dummy half is Jaden Brayley against his former club, but they snap him down a metre short of the line, adjacent to the right-hand upright. Matt Croker's at dummy half. It's a long ball for Cogger, left-hand side. Bradman Best have got 2-on-1. Marju scores. Does he get the ball down? There's a question mark. Jared Sutton will point to the spot. Greg Marju is flying in the corner in his first game back from a back injury. Didn't have any signs of being sore there. There's only a question of whether he gets the ball down cleanly. Otherwise, it's 10 points to 0 with a kick to come.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he gets this down.
It's not there.
Yeah, I think he gets it down there in that view. I'd like to see it one more time. But what about the work from Bradman Best? One-on-one with Hiroti. Gets on the outside, flick pass. He just does enough to keep Katoa interested. And then he has to jump for about a half a metre. It still looks like he gets it down there. They're looking at it again.
They just
Oh,
isolate.
yeah, I think he gets it down. That's try time. Good work there by Greg Marju.
And they isolate Katoa, don't they? Touchline John Gibbs.
Yeah, great work also by Bradman Best because he was able to hold them up, and it looks like it's left his hands, but I don't think so. When you slow it, when you goes in normal time, he's got that one down. So that will be 10-0 with a kick to come. So this is a shock. They deserve this. So Marju, he's coming back into the side. He's now got 49 tries in his 87th game, and look, he's a good player. This has been a lean season for him, his lowest ever. That's only his 5th try for the year, but what a weapon he is. And Fletcher Hunt at the back is doing some great things.
Yeah, Greg Marju in game number 85 in the NRL. Game number 61 for Newcastle. His 34th try for the club. And his 5th for the season. Cogger from the touchline moves in and strikes it. It's low and it's no good. The touch judge's flag, stay down. So he's 1 from 2 this afternoon. And Newcastle against a lot of the odds, leading 10 points to 0 with 18 minutes gone. 0467920222, Louis.
Yeah, the Sharks just look so flat, don't they? They're really flattened in their defence. They're flat in their attack. They've got no energy. Now, I don't know if it's because of the bye last week or what it is, or it's the heat out there at the moment. But for Newcastle, they've turned up. They're running harder. They're getting into position earlier. They're fighting on the play of the ball. They're getting into every kick chase line. They're doing everything right in this opening, 18 minutes. So well done to Newcastle.
Paul in Wollongong says, sniff, sniff, can you smell the upset? Resting for night shift with a K. My fears have already materialised. It won't be a surprise or shock if the Knights win. Good night, says Froggy. Thank you for your text message. Leo Thompson, what a carry from the restart. Gets post-contact metres as well. 21 away. They just allowed the legs to keep moving there to Cronulla defence. Dom Young now comes back into the middle of the field. Takes the tackle 22 away. That's better tackling from Cronulla. Adam Fanua Blake involved. Brayley out at dummy half. Left-hand side. Try scorer Marzu up over the 30. They're making metres here again. The Knights. 33 away from their line. Brayley comes left. Short side coming off his left shoulder is Jermaine McEwen. 4 short of the halfway line. Strong carry from the left edge back rower. Marzu with a second hit up in this set. Bounces off a defender, but then he's wrapped up on the second attempt. 6 inside Cronulla's territory. Brayley comes right out of dummy half for Cogger to go to the skies down route 1 at the moment. And Will Kennedy takes that one about 8 away from his own goal line and returns it to about 11 away at that southern end of the field, trailing 10 points to 0. The Cronulla Sharks, who were looking at the possibility of potentially finishing as high as 3rd place this NRL season if they could win their last 2 games. But at the moment, they are just trying to get back from 10-0 down against Newcastle. Ronaldo Mulitalo will play at 26 away from the line. Brayley comes right. Waiting for it is Iro, and he takes it up over the 30. He's on the Luke Lewis line. 35 away from his own goal line. 15 short of halfway. Plays it open side right. They come. Quick hands from Colquhoun. Gets it away to Nico Hines, and then on it goes to Hiroti. They're 2 metres short of halfway. Cronulla 8 in from the eastern touchline, and it's the final play. So Nico Hines goes to the skies in centre field. Fletcher Hunt has to come a long way forward. Loses it. It's touched by Colquhoun as well. It's a double knock on. First one, Newcastle. Cronulla will get the ball 27 away from Newcastle's line, trailing 10-0 after a quarter of this game gone.
Yeah, well, I think the Cronulla Sharks will be cheering about that one. They get through their set nicely. They put up a kick. They get a half-decent chase. And then you got Fletcher there. Fletcher Hunt jump up nice and high. Just can't get his timing right, and comes up and knock on. So probably the best field position the Sharks had in a long period of time.
Stuart from Aspley says the Sharks need to defend more. He says that Toby Rudolph could score 10 tries this afternoon. Not sure whether that'll happen, but thank you, Stuart. Appreciate your text message as always. They've won the scrum. They go right. Katoa plays at 19 away from the line. For the next play, here is Toby Rudolph looking to score one of those 10, but he won't score on this occasion. He's brought to ground 9 away in centre field. Plays it. They come left out of dummy half. Blake Brayley scoots, gets it away to Colquhoun. He's only 2 metres away from the line, underneath the sticks at the northern end. Slow to get up and play the ball off his back. Blake Brayley at dummy half, right for Trindle. Dummies back on his inside towards the post. There was a Cronulla player, Billy Burns, taken out off the ball. He stayed on the ground as well. Toby Rudolph, one off the ruck, goes towards the line. He's 2 away, held up in the tackle. Plays it for Blake Brayley on the last. They come left for Nico Hines. Here comes Mulitalo. It was deep. He was running quickly. Gets the pass away to Will Kennedy. He passes off the ground back to Mulitalo. Long ball across the inside to Aden Fanua-Blake. Keeps the pass alive for Hiroti. And finally, on the final play, Cronulla will be wrapped up with a changeover, 17 away from Newcastle's line. The Knights lead 10 points to 0 with 18 and a half to go in the first half, John Gibbs.
Yeah, that was sloppy. That was horrible, quite frankly. That was just throw around the ball, bounce on about 3 occasions. And just a clarification, the Sharks, Glenn, they can't make the top 3 because the Bulldogs are already on 38. So no matter what they do, they can only get to 36. So they would want to get to 4th. This, in my mind, if they are beaten here, would be the biggest upset of the year.
Yeah, I beg your pardon, 4th place, not 3rd place. Thanks, Gibbsy, as they come open side right through. Leo Thompson has the ball 10 short of the halfway line. And he makes it to within about 8 of the halfway line. He plays the ball. They get 6 again for holding onto the boot. That was pretty soft there from the referee, but they do give 6 again away here, Cronulla, and they'll have to defend their own half again because Jaden Brayley has tried to sneak off the mark, so he's just told to go back about a metre or so. He plays it for Dane Gagai, left-hand side for Tyson. Frizzell tries to go through a gap. He's 31 away from the line. Now Jaden Brayley, dummy half, comes right short for Kai Pearce-Paul. Goes to within 11 of the goal line, 10 in from the western touchline. Gagai scoots out of dummy half. Cronulla's defence is feeding him all over the place, and Gagai didn't quite know what to do there. If they passed the ball quickly, they would have scored there, Newcastle. Leo Thompson is 7 away from the line, takes the tackle, 20 in from the eastern touchline as they spin it. They will go short. Cogger dummy half for Jermaine McEwen, but Cronulla have numbers over there, so Jermaine McEwen's brought to ground a metre away from the line. Final play for Newcastle, who lead by 10. They come to the right now. Cogger rubbering towards the in goal, but it's taken well by Steve Wilton in front of the posts, and then he takes the tackle 9 away from the line in centre field, with Newcastle leading 10 points to 0. There's 16 and a half to go in the first half. Mulitalo looks to make a break, but he's brought to ground 30 away.
Yeah, good carry there from Mulitalo. They needed that to get them out of their own end. In fact, up again here by Sione Katoa, but they are looking lost in defence, the Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah, an offload as well from Katoa to Will Kennedy, and all of a sudden they're 2 metres short of the halfway line. This is much better stuff from Cronulla. Scooting out of dummy half is Blake Brayley. Hines is on the back up for the offload. He comes to the left, tries to put Braden Trindle through a hole, but Jaden Brayley has just about enough to hold onto his boot. He goes to ground. They're only 30 away from Newcastle's line now. Through the hands of Fanua-Blake to Colquhoun. The fans are blowing up that Newcastle are offside. It's the final play. It'll continue for Cronulla to play at 20 away. Short right, Hines gets it away to Billy Burns. Falls, gets the pass away, goes to ground, but it's knocked down by Bradman Best, and Cronulla will get the ball back 10 away from Newcastle's line via a scrum feed, trailing 10 points to 0, less than 16 to go first half.
Yeah, well, they were shot the Sharks up the other end of the field. They get a horrible kick go against them. They come up with a nice pick up from Teague Wilton, and they finally get down the other end of the field and put a little bit of pressure on through some nice attack. And then Bradman Best goes to try and knock this ball back towards his in-goal to get the ball back, but ends up going forward and gifts the field position here to the Cronulla Sharks. They've just got Tom Hazelton come on the field too, so he might pick the intensity up for the Shark side.
Certainly a crowd favourite here at Shark Park is Tom Hazelton. Cronulla through Trindle, feed the scrum, 10 away from the line. They come right. Nico Hines can't find a way through. He's too short of the goal line. Gets up off his back. Plays it for Blake Brayley. Left for Colquhoun. Now here's Hazelton, straightening towards the right-hand upright. Goes to ground after 3 Newcastle players, including Leo Thompson, bring him to ground. Brayley takes a few steps left, then goes to Nico Hines. He's met in a strong tackle by, over there is Kai Pearce-Paul, 7 away from the line. Brayley comes right out of dummy half for Hazelton, short to Colquhoun, takes a tackle, 2 away from the line. Newcastle's goal line defence scrambling, they lead 10-0. Here's Adam Fanua-Blake, short, rolls over, scores. Jared Sutton's going to go upstairs.
Have no try, just look at them whether in contact of the tackle. Adam loses the ball, touches the defender on the way to ground.
Oh, so he's bobbled the ball on the way through, right in front of Jared Sutton. Does he hold on to it here?
Sutton can't
play will tell us.
Sorry, Sutton can't be in a better position here.
Yeah.
So there's the drop here. It's a really strong carry. But it must be when he rolls over.
I think it already happened in the contact with Leo Thompson. Just here. It's just off screen though, Louis. The camera angle doesn't quite pick it up.
The ball initially starts to come away, but then Adam secures possession with his arm back into his own body, playing on at this point.
This will be a try if he can get the ball down here. He rolls over.
There. Oh, no.
He holds it. And he gets the ball down.
Adam then maintains possession with his left arm around the ball and grounds it without a decision.
Adam Fanua-Blake scores his 6th try of the season. Cronulla are on the board, 10 points to 4 with a kick to come from adjacent to the left-hand upright. And it was just that little bobble out of his arms, but he held onto it into the collision with Leo Thompson, Luke.
Yeah, but it's a good play there from the Cronulla Sharks. They finally get it right and they get down close to the line. They've been trying to go around the Newcastle Knights and it just hasn't been working for them. And then this time, close to the line, they see big Adam Fanua-Blake, who loves to score a try. He runs a great line. He's a handful as well, and he just hits him on the chest, almost comes up with a bit of a fumble. A nice pass there from Brayley, and then just spins out of a tackle of 3 of them and puts the ball down. Gets the Sharks back into this game. 10-4 kick to come.
He loves playing against Newcastle. He scored in both games this season. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, well, Adam Fanua-Blake, he needed to do that because they've been going too much sideways. And Adam Fanua-Blake, as you say, Glenn, he can score a try, and this is ready-made for him. He should have been scoring those tries. And when you look at that flimsy defence from Cronulla, don't underestimate the loss of Cameron McInnes.
Yeah, huge defensive player is Cam McInnes, of course, out with that ACL. Will be a long road back. He'll miss the start of next season. Nico Hines is just to the left of the uprights, doesn't make a mistake here, adds the extras, so it's 10 points to 6. Newcastle leading the Cronulla Sharks. 13 to go in the first half. It's been a quick first half. 0-4-6-7-9-2-0-2-2-2. Shane in Ballina wants Louis to go down and tell Nico to dummy in step when he's close to the line. He's not the same player since he didn't get a start off the bench in Origin. Thank you, Shane. Jack from Campbelltown. So all it took for Knights to fire their coach and magically they remember how to play. Thank you very much for that. Your text messages on 0-4-6-7-9-2-0-2-2-2. Brisbane leading the Bulldogs 12-0 at half-time in the NRL W. In the New South Wales Women's Rugby League, South's leading Illawarra 14-8 as, 18-14 as Tom Hazelton has the ball 13 away from his line. And in New South Wales Cup, 6-all Manly and Newtown in the first half. Here's Kyle Iro taking the ball towards the Newcastle defence, 19 away from his line, tacking on his back. Gets up slow to play the ball after the surrender tackle. They go right through Colquhoun. He tries to get some post-contact metres. Newcastle players hold on to him and finally put him on his bum about 29 metres away from his own line. He's 15 in from that eastern touchline. They come left for Adam Fanua Blake, who looks to offload but decides to go himself. He takes the tackle 14 short of halfway in centre field. Scored that try to make it 10 points to 6. Newcastle still leading Cronulla. Lovely ball from Hazelton to Teague Wilton almost through half a gap. He's 5 metres inside Newcastle's half. They go short left-hand side. Braden Trindle kicks on the run on the last. Will Kennedy's flying through. He forces the mistake from Hunt, but I think it goes forward off Will Kennedy as well. Mulitalo will be held up in the in goal.
Last tackle, no try. Look that we've got a knock on out here, mate.
I'm sure Will Kennedy loses the ball forward in the challenge with Fletcher Hunt, but it was good pressure from the Cronulla fullback.
Yeah, but there was Ronaldo Mulitalo doesn't play to the whistle. If he actually fights to get the ball down and this doesn't touch him, he would have scored.
Oh, it's a knock on.
I'm just trying to see where it goes. Fletcher Hunt gets up nice and high.
Or has it come off
So
Fletcher
knock
Hunt's
on
hand
off
first?
Will Kennedy.
Nah.
Any touch from the Newcastle player goes backwards.
Your hand over there.
We have a
There's a knock
decision.
on there anyway.
Left it on 3 times, I reckon.
Just wait.
So Newcastle will get that changeover in front of you. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, pretty sloppy still, but Newcastle are hanging in there, but just starting to get a little bit of momentum and starting to talk a bit more as well, the Cronulla players.
Dom Young for Newcastle. They just need to settle things down again. As you say, Cronulla getting some of that momentum. So Newcastle would like the ball in their hands for an extended period here. Greg Marju will take the tackle 20 away from his own line at the northern end with 12 minutes to go in the first half. John Gibbs, Luke Lewis and Glenn Lauder with Newcastle leading 10-6. They play the ball about 30 away from their own line and they go to the left through Matt Croker. He has the ball 11 short of halfway, 25 in from the eastern touchline. He plays it for Brayley, who goes himself out of dummy half. That's Jaden, of course. Then to the left-hand side where Cogger takes the tackle on halfway. 20 in from that eastern touchline still. They come open side right for Crossland to kick on the final play. Downfield it goes. Route 1. Will Kennedy takes it 11 away from his own line. Thought about throwing the long pass across the 10-metre line. Thought better of it. Goes into the defence of Dane Gagai and also Dom Young. 27 away from their line. Cronulla coming away from their own end. Kyle Idor is straightening over the 30-metre line and he's 35 away in centre field. Still trailing 10-6 the Cronulla Sharks as they come one off the ruck right-hand side and Sifa Talakai is on the park for Cronulla now with Jesse Colquhoun getting a rest at the moment. So too is Toby Rudolph and they have the ball through their other interchange player Tom Hazelton who's 4 inside Newcastle territory. Brayley out of dummy half right. Aden Fanua Blake. Nico Hines is caught with the football by his opposite number Jack Cogger. 13 inside Newcastle's half. Final play. Trindle at first receiver goes to the skies. Dom Young is there waiting for it. Dane Gagai was providing somewhat of a block or an escort, but he was not really getting too far involved. And Dom Young takes the catch well, 17 away from his own line as Newcastle come away from their territory again through Fletcher Hunt, who's brought to ground 20 away, 20 in from the western touchline. Newcastle still leading 10 points to 6. Here's Dane Gagai with a hit up 25 away from his own line. There's 10 minutes to go in the first half, and Jaden Brayley comes out of dummy half, coming right to Kai Pearce-Paul. Takes 3 Cronulla players, including Hazelton, over the top to bring him down. 15 short of halfway. Jaden Brayley comes left, Matt Croker, and then Phoenix Crossland gets it away to Jermaine McEwen. He'll take the tackle 9 short of halfway in centre field. It's a final play for Newcastle. So Crossland's waiting at dummy at first receiver. Kicks from just inside 40. Will Kennedy takes it comfortably on the 20-metre line. And we'll start this set for Cronulla as he goes to ground 31 away from the line with Newcastle leading 10-6, under 10 to go first half.
Yeah, just watching. I think the Newcastle Knights are starting to look tired, fatigued. Their body language is like that at the moment. But that's they've had all the ball in field position really too. So they shouldn't be sort of looking like that at the moment. The last set, you could throw a blanket over their attack.
Now they spin it to the right here. Cronulla, Sione Katoa comes in off his wing and then links up with the other winger in the middle of the field, Ronaldo Mulitalo. They're playing like front rowers. Quickly out of dummy half is Blake Brayley. Left-hand side they go. Strong carry from Braden Hamlin-Ueli. He takes the tackle 29 metres away from Newcastle's line. Centre field, Blake Brayley goes right for Nico Hines. And then here's Fanua Blake. Held up, I beg your pardon, it's Talakai. He will take the tackle. Fanua Blake just going off the park there to allow Hamlin-Ueli to come On left-hand side, they go for Trindle. Chance here for Ronaldo Mulitalo to score in the corner. They play it quickly to the left. Braden Trindle has come up with a foot injury as he's thrown that ball, but it was a pinpoint pass to Ronaldo Mulitalo. Newcastle's defence was really narrow on that left-hand side of Cronulla's attack, and Mulitalo had acres of space to make it 10-all with a kick to come, 8.5 to go first half.
Yeah, well, they've had this play on a couple of times, just haven't been able to get it right, but they all get their roles right here. And you got Teague Wilton punch into a hole. And you got Ronaldo Mulitalo just sending it out nice and wide, waiting to see does he get the ball off his centre partner or does he just get it straight off Trindle. And then there's a beautiful front pass here from Trindle. Hits him straight on the chest and he goes over as easy as you like. A little bit of a foot race between him and Dom Young, but Dom Young never really had a chance with the way that Ronaldo was carrying that ball. Great try.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well executed. The main concern now is for Braden Trindle. I reckon what's happened there, he ran to the line. He's been trying to inspire his teammates. I reckon what happened is Nico's going to be close to me here. I'll just put it down a decibel. But I think what's happened is that when he ran through the line after passing the ball, things crossed on his tail on his foot. So he's in a lot of pain. He's still recovering. But Mulitalo has certainly been scoring plenty of tries. And if he gets a double, it'll be 3 in a row. It hasn't been done since Colin Best way back when.
Yeah, second double in 3 games he's looking for. And 3 games here at Shark Park with Nico Hines, as Gibbsy says, centimetres in from this western touchline, looking to put Cronulla ahead for the first time this afternoon. Strikes this one, looks good as well, beautiful draw on it. Adds the extras, 12 points to 10. That never looked like missing. Cronulla leading Newcastle with 7.5 to go in the first half. 0467 920 222. Up Cronulla, says Kingy Jade and Dusty the Dingo in Malakuta. Enjoying the call, boys, while watching the mighty Cardiff Cobras in the Newcastle local semis and munching on some lollies. Cheers, Tim from Newey. Scott from Goulburn. Why don't they have mandatory try reviews in, as in the NFL, to stop the no try time wasting? Well, they almost have mandatory try reviews. They look at everything anyway, but it's still the referee's prerogative to say whether he thinks it's a try or not, as Newcastle get underway, and they're in front of the kicker. There's a penalty to Cronulla for being in front of the kicker, and the Sharks will be able to take the penalty on halfway. All things not going Newcastle's way after an incredible start where they did lead 10 points to 0.
I told you could see the fatigue kicking into that Newcastle side. And I'm assuming it's just so hot down there that they had all the ball and all the field position. Now they've just absolutely capitulated.
There's little excuse. Jonty Gibbs had to cover his head there as the ball came across.
Well, I thought I was going to get that one. We saw Moses Leota do a similar sort of thing under fatigue in Mudgee a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a huge turning point in that game. And now Will Kennedy changes direction for Billy Burns and takes the tackle 19 away from Newcastle's line. The Knights have to defend here. They trail 12-10, 6.5 to go. They give away a set restart. Tom Hazelton will take the tackle 9 away from the line with a full set here at Newcastle. A fatiguing Newcastle. Braden Hamlin-Ueli, strong carry to within 2 metres. A metre now. Jason to the left-hand upright. He's slow to get up and play the ball. And he'll play it for Brayley to change his direction and comes left for Trindle, still limping slightly. Kyle Ino close to the line, reaches out, and the referee is going to go upstairs.
No try. I think Phoenix Crossland's got hold of the leg and the ball on the ground, and we've got a double
to see if it's a double movement.
If he retains possession.
So does he hold on to the ball, and does he promote the football with Phoenix Crossland holding on to his legs? The ball carrying arm certainly touches the ground as he rolls over.
I don't know. I reckon. Far out. I wouldn't say that's a double movement though.
He's still moving. Like
that whole. If you look at him, like Crossland's got his arm, but he's already twisting. He's twisting.
Crossland clearly has a hold of the legs.
Twisting, still moving.
Yeah,
Kale Oro is rolling at this point. The ball carrying arm hasn't hit the ground. We just need to see if he maintains possession.
Yeah, I think the grounding now, the referee has cleared the double movement action because he hits the ground almost on his back.
There was a little bit of movement.
Yeah, that's what they're working through.
Right at the end.
It lands on his hand. He plants it on his hand and then rolls it onto the line, but does he maintain possession? And it might even be short as well if you...
I don't reckon it's short.
They're working.
We're just looking at the grounding element here.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
It's a double movement because he was rolling, but then he stopped.
In attempting
and then
to ground it, Kale
put it up.
Iro places the ball on his left hand. It then bobbles back to his right hand. This is a knock-on.
Yeah, knock-on.
decision.
No
Fill the
try.
play, boys.
The double movement got cleared there, Gibbsy, but it was just the drop ball.
No, yeah, well, what I'm saying is the first one, I don't think he got it to the line, the first one. Then he sort of, when it bobbled, he pushed it over. Anyway, it's a knock-on, so they get out of that one. Kale Iro, he's denied scoring 10 in a row.
Yeah, he rolled it onto his hand and then just fumbled as he tried to maintain possession. A shark attack, says Greg at Ride. Thank you very much for your text message here, I think. At Endeavour Field, Louis. 12 points to 10. They lead Newcastle. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Newcastle had the scrum feed coming away from their own end after that decision to disallow Kyle Ido's try. They go to the left through Greg Marziuk. He has the ball 20 away from his own line. 22 in from the eastern touchline as they come back to the open side. And Thomas Cant bounces off the defenders and then they hold on and stop him held up in the tackle 26 away. 0467920222. Here's Kai Pearce-Paul. 3 Cronulla players stop him as well, and the defence gets a slight round of applause from the Sharks faithful. Plays it 30 away from his own line, and then left-hand side they go for Matt Croker. Matt Croker has the ball 33 away, centre field. Newcastle trailing by 2. They go left through the hands of Crossland, and then ultimately Jermaine McEwen. Final play, 4 short of halfway. One off the right comes Crossland, a kick from outside 40. It's a high, deep, straight kick downfield. Will Kennedy can take it just shy of his own 20-metre line. It's a good, strong return as well because he'll start his set 16 short of the halfway line. Getting up and playing it for Trindle at dummy half. Open side right comes Mulitalo off his wing. Backs into the defence, takes the tackle, 9 short of halfway centre field. We'll play the ball for Blake Brayley again with Cronulla leading 12-10. Here's Sione Katoa. Will take the tackle a metre inside Newcastle's territory. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Cronulla coming from 10-0 down to lead. Left-hand side, Hazelton goes to Hamlin Ueli. Tries to bounce away from Jaden Brayley, but Jaden holds on. He's helped out by Thomas Cant. And Braden Hamlin Ueli goes to ground 33 away. Here's Blake Brayley out of dummy half to Trindle. Quick hands to Will Kennedy and Kyle Ido, who's had a try disallowed. This time he takes the tackle 11 away from the line. It's the final play for Cronulla. Blake Brayley's waiting at dummy half to go wide right to Trindle, who kicks back towards traffic and the ruck. It's taken by Mulitalo. Still the last, though. He gets the pass away, not cleanly. It's picked up by Dom Young, who's hit in a strong tackle, and the referee's going to say it'll be a changeover on the 10-metre line because there was no advantage with that knock-on about 3 away from the goal line. Cronulla leading 12-10 over Newcastle. 4 to go in the first half.
Yeah, well, the Sharks have definitely got back into this game, making so many easy metres, and they're loving this left side, even coming out of their own end. They're shifting to this left edge. Well, Kennedy's running over this left side from the back side, the back end of the field, and every time they open up, they'll finish in the left-hand side of the field. They'll do one pass right and kick back to Dom Young. So they've definitely done their homework. There's something that they're looking for over here on this left edge.
Knights have it through Marju, 27 away from his line, and now here comes Dom Young. Good strong run from the Englishman, 10 short of the halfway line. 20 in from the western touchline. They're running out of time to get back on the board in this half. Newcastle almost an intercept to right. He comes out of the line, but Bradman Best picks it up. So they're short in numbers defensively. Pass from Best to Cogger is absolutely whacked by Will Kennedy as he fumbled the ball. It all happened simultaneously. There is real concern here for Jack Cogger. He's back on his feet, but he was whacked there by Will Kennedy. Lost the ball in the process. Cronulla pick it up. There's 3 going to go in the first half. Cronulla lead 12-10.
All I'm going to say is that's a massive effort there from Nico Hines, because I thought Bradman Best was away for sure. He's got speed to burn Bradman Best. He's done a good job just to grab onto him, so he had to pass early, which gave then Will Kennedy just one decision. That's just to stay square, make a good shot on the ball carrier, and that is fine. I think Will's getting caught out here.
Yeah, I don't.
But he's tripping over onto his knee.
So Cogger's already losing the ball and going
Nico,
going low to the
I
ground.
understand there's mitigation in it, but it is contact with the head, right? And there's a bit of force there, so it's not a report and a penalty.
So they've given a penalty against Will Kennedy. That looked like really good contact as Jack Cogger was going low, losing the ball. Kennedy went low as well. John Gibbs, what say you?
Yeah, of course, the mitigating circumstance. He was fumbling the ball, then he was hit into his falling by Will Kennedy. Yet you had one before when Nico Hines hit one of them across the mush He hit McEwen across the mush. They all look at it, play on. This is outrageous.
Yeah, it's incredible how that Nicho Hines, I wouldn't call it a swinging arm, but it was a forearm across the face, wasn't penalised. And then this one, that I just thought Will Kennedy did a really good job one-on-one. Matt Croker, 31 away from the Cronulla line. One off the ruck right, they come for Kai Pearce-Tall. He's 26 away from the line. There's less than 3 to go in the first half. Cronulla lead 12-10. Croker through the hands left to Cogger, who's back and on his feet. Fletcher Hunt loses the ball. Cronulla pick it up through Katoa. Maybe a little bit of justice there, and Cronulla bounce away through Katoa over the 30. He's brought to ground 15 short of halfway centre field. Quick play the ball as well for Blake Brayley to come left and send Kyle Ito on his way, 3 short of the halfway line. Now Newcastle slow to get off. Jaden Brayley there, but the referee was happy with the time taken. And Sifa Talakai will play the ball about 5 metres inside Newcastle's territory. 2 minutes to go in the first half. You're with John Gibbs, Luke Lewis and Glenn Lauder. Tom Hazelton takes the tackle, 33 away from Newcastle's line, 23 in from the western touchline. He plays it for Blake Brayley, who scoots out a dummy half right. Dummies goes himself, and then he takes the tackle 25 away from the Newcastle goal line at the northern end of Shark Park on a beautiful late winter afternoon. The sun is shining, the temperature's in the early 20s, and the Sharks on fire at the moment with Nicho Hines, 19 away from the line. They come left wide. First receiver is Talakai. Trindle will kick towards the in goal for Dom Young again, who has to bat this one over the dead ball line, and Newcastle will have a goal line dropout here. If Cronulla can get it back, they'll have another full set here at the Newcastle Knights with a minute and a half to go in the first half.
Yeah, well, they get this ball back, I reckon it'd be very hard for the Knights to hold the Sharks out. So I reckon they'll go short line dropout and chance their arm, but if they don't get it back, Sharks are going over.
Lovely sunshine it whilst in the garden with my beautiful secretary Tracy. Up Cronulla says helmet. Thank you very much for your text message. It's a deep kick-off. It's a goal line dropout taken on the 40-metre line by Trindle, who sends Hazelton back to within 23 of Newcastle's line. So it wasn't quite a long one, but it certainly wasn't short. They go open side right for Braden Hamlin-Uwelli to come one off the ruck. He's taken a ground 15 away from Newcastle's line. Can they break the line here with less than a minute to go in the first half? Blake Brayley comes left. Nicho Hines is holding the ball up and then taking the tackle, 8 metres to go. Luke Lewis nodding his head saying, yes, they can break this line. Brayley's at dummy half. He goes right, takes a few steps. Hamlin-Uwelli's close to the line, brought to ground 4 away. 20 in from the eastern touchline. If they get 6 again, they will. It was the second tackle on Braden Hamlin-Uwelli. Now they go to the right edge. Katoa runs out of room, so he has to come back in, and he looks a bit rudderless there, but they do have a full set. There's 30 seconds to go in the first half, and Cronulla lead 12 points to 10. They come left. Nicho Hines gets it to Hazelton, who straightens, tries to settle things down and set something up here with 20 seconds to go. Gets up and plays it for Brayley. Left for Nicho Hines. Short ball for Talakai, and Luke Lewis is exactly right. Newcastle can't beat the Sharks out. Sifa Talakai back to the bench this week with Kyle Ito starting, but it doesn't matter where he plays. He scored a try, and Newcastle's defence has been broken on the stroke of half-time. Cronulla 16, Newcastle 10, kick the cup.
Yeah, that was always going to happen. You could just see the fatigue in the Newcastle Knights defensive line, and they just had to ask the right question. They had them shot a couple of times, especially on this left side. They're loving it over here at the moment. They could have played short. They could have played at the back. They had them for numbers as well. Nice little short ball hit from Nicho to find an absolute damaging ball under there in Talakai, and he goes over as easy as you like. It's another try just before half-time. 16-10, kick to come, and then we'll get a little 15-minute break before the second half, and I reckon Sharks are ready to pounce.
I think it's second of the season. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, that's going to give them, if Nicho Hines will give him this one because it's adjacent to the post, so that'll give them an 8-point lead at half-time, but it's not been very conclusive. They're now arm in arm on the 25-metre line here, just behind Nicho Hines, but half-time that'll be a blow to the solar plexus, that one. It's going to paper over some of the cracks, though, because this has been an inauspicious first half by the Sharks.
Gibbsy is the 25-metre line, 10 metres away from the 35-metre line.
Luke Lewis line.
As Nicho Hines makes no mistake, he's 3 from 3. The Sharks have scored 18 unanswered points And at the break, they lead 18 points to 10 over the Newcastle Knights, who started the game strongly, had all the momentum, but ran out of juice in that middle of the first half there, despite having a lot of the ball there, Luke Lewis. Newcastle, we really disappointed how that half ended up after the way it started.
Yeah, well, as soon as they had to do 2 or 3 back-to-back sets, the Knights, they were cooked and they couldn't recover. So their fitness levels are just not there at the moment. And you can tell out there with this heat, it really affected them in the last 15 minutes or so. But the Sharks, well, I had a funny feeling. Remember I said before the game, it's going to depend on how they start. And I felt if they could go out and do a really good job in the first 20 minutes, they'll blow them off the park. It took them a bit of time to find their feet, but now they're slowly starting to find their mojo. They've got their second win back after the bye. I reckon they'll come out flying in the second 40.
Nico Hines is having a long conversation with Jared Sutton as the Cronulla Sharks make their way off to a smattering of applause there from the Cronulla fans. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, he might be having a long conversation with him, but they've only got themselves to blame because I think the rub of the green probably went the way of the Sharks. They were behind. They've ground their way back into the game, got some continuity, and they should be able to go on with it in the second half. And it was good news that Braden Trindle's okay, because when he set the try up for Ronaldo Mulatalo, he was tread on by Phoenix Trotson, but it was one of those where it just hurts for a while, and hopefully there's no bone damage and he's okay. But he seems to be running freely. They're going to do something better though in the second half, and you would think they're going to score 20 or 30 points at least in the second half.
So let's have a look at some of the stats from the first half. Cronulla with slightly better possession, and they completed 19 of 21 sets as Newcastle completed 16 of 21 at 76%. Cronulla running 833 metres off 107 runs. Newcastle running for 735 off 86 runs. 3 line breaks to 2 in favour of Cronulla, 26 tackle breaks to 20, and offloads Newcastle leading 5-4 in that department. Defensively, Cronulla's made 179 and missed 20 at 87%. Newcastle's made 186 and missed 27 at 84%. So fairly even there. Newcastle better in terms of errors, 6-5, and they trail the penalty count 3-1. So the tries in that first half, of course, Newcastle scoring the first 2 in the 4th and 16th minutes to Fletcher Hunt and Greg Marju. Jack Cogger has 1 from 2. Adam Fanua-Blake, Ronaldo Mulatalo and Ceci Fatalakai with the tries for Cronulla, all in the final 15 minutes of that first half. Nico Hines is 3 from 3. Will Kennedy is on report for a high tackle on Jack Cogger. 0467 920 222, mowing the yard, hearing the Sharks do it again in the first half. Can they put on a second half as well? Up, says Rodney in Tamworth. Listening from Three Springs in WA. Wildflowers are in bloom, enjoying the best footy callers in the game, and we're hoping Andrew's on the mend. Thank you from Mick in the Gong. Yes, we are as well, and he is recovering comfortably and hopefully listening to the footy as well. Around the grounds in the NRLW, second half, Brisbane leading the Bulldogs 26-0. In New South Wales Cup, first half, Manly leading Newtown 20 points to 12. The Roosters leading Wests 12-0. And in Queensland Cup, second half, South Logan leading Ipswich 22-0. Sunshine Coast trailing Burleigh 28-0 at half-time. And in the Australian Ice Hockey League Grand Final, start of the second period, Melbourne Ice leading Canberra Brave 3-0 on the text line. Thank you for that update. 0467 920 222. Keep them coming. After this, we'll get a preview with Quentin Hull and Clinton Shafosky from Lang Park ahead of the Dolphins and Gold Coast game at 4:05 p.m. But before we do that, let's get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
News with Satyam Weinstein. Anti-immigration rallies are continuing across the country today. In Melbourne, more than 1,000 people are approaching the Victorian Parliament following multiple encounters with a pro-Palestinian rally on the streets of the city's CBD. Natasha Shapova reports.
Several intersections in the heart of Melbourne CBD are flooded with hundreds of protesters as the pro-Palestine rally clashes with March for Australia protesters. The two groups have each dispersed into smaller groups across the city. The corner of Burke Street and Swanson Street remains busy, with the two sides shouting chants at each other. Some have broken into smaller groups to debate their views. Police continue to keep the groups separated by trying to block streets to prevent them from merging.
Meanwhile, thousands are marching through the streets of inner Sydney as part of the March for Australia. Protesters say they've had enough of mass migration. These demonstrators say they're campaigning against the rate of migration because it means basic amenities cannot be maintained.
guy laying down there, sleeping in the park. We can't even look after our own people. We're here to say we need to manage immigration in a way that maintains our culture and allows them to integrate so that we can all enjoy what makes Australia great.
Because I want my children to be able to afford a house, and live the life that we actually all had.
And in Darwin, hundreds of nationalist protesters have gathered, chanting anti-government slogans and waving flags associated with the sovereign citizen movement. Oliver Chaseling reports.
There appears to be no police presence at a rally of around 400 people that's gathered outside the Administrator's house in Darwin CBD. Protesters there are marching in solidarity with March for Australia protests occurring around the country. Protesters in Darwin were seen carrying mostly Australian flags, with some carrying Eureka Stockade flags and red naval flags associated with sovereign citizen ideology. Protesters have blocked roads on a short march to the Administrator's house to hear speeches, with some traffic attempting to move through. NT Police have been contacted for comment.
Turning to other news, and hundreds of police are continuing to focus on the rugged Alpine region in Victoria's northeast as they search for alleged gunman Desi Freeman. Danushi Dias reports.
450 officers are scouring bushland in the Popunka area for Desi Freeman, who allegedly shot dead 2 police officers and seriously injured a third on Tuesday. There's been no sign of the self-described sovereign citizen since he fled. Police are urging the 56-year-old to surrender and are asking the public to stay away from the area. Meanwhile, police have charged a 61-year-old man arrested in nearby Bright with weapons and drug offences, but they haven't revealed whether he's linked to Desi Freeman. The Bright man has been granted bail to appear in court in October.
An Israeli airstrike in the Yemeni capital Sana'a has killed the Houthi Prime Minister Ahmed al-Rahawi and a number of other senior officials. Israel says the strike targeted the Houthi Chief of Staff and the group's defense minister. The Iranian-backed Houthis have repeatedly launched missiles at Israel in support of Palestinians in Gaza. The head of the Houthis' political council, Mahdi al-Mashat, says their attacks on Israel will continue.
Though the enemy has inflicted pain on us with this attack, we vow before God, the people of Yemen and the families of the martyrs and the wounded, that we will take revenge. From our deep pain we will forge victory.
Ukrainian police are hunting for a gunman who's killed a prominent politician in the western city of Lviv. Andriy Paruby was a former parliamentary speaker and a leader of the Euromaidan movement, which unseated the pro-Russian president Viktor Yanukovych in 2014. He was shot dead by a man dressed as a courier. The Trump administration is preparing to sack most of the 500 remaining journalists at the federally funded broadcaster Voice of America. The BBC's Rich Preston with the details.
The agency's acting head, Carrie Lake, announced the latest round of job cuts on social media. She said it would help reduce bureaucracy and save taxpayers' money. A union representative called the move illegal, and it is likely to be challenged in the courts. The announcement comes only a day after a federal judge blocked Ms. Lake from firing the VOA director. The judge also ordered her to sit for a deposition, where she would be questioned by lawyers. Voice of America was set up during the Second World War to counter Nazi propaganda. The White House has repeatedly accused the news organization of being radical.
And a bushfire emergency warning remains in place for people travelling along the Gibb River Road west of Ellenbray Road in WA's Kimberley. The blaze, which is believed to have been deliberately lit, is not contained or controlled. ABC News.
Shocking evidence, jury drama. The Mushroom Case Daily podcast took you inside that trial, and now we're doing it again with the Croc Wrangler, Matt Wright. Search for the new podcast, The Case Of. It's on the ABC Listen app or wherever you get your podcasts.
ABC sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
Final play for Newcastle, still no score. They come to the right. The cross-landed kick towards the post. Frizzell goes up. So too close to the line and scoring, I think, Fletcher Hunt. He goes up, takes the catch, and Fletcher Hunt goes and scores a try next to the upright. Coming out of dummy half is Jaden Fraley against his former club, but they snap him down a metre short of the line, adjacent to the right-hand upright. Matt Croker's at dummy half. It's a long ball for Cogger, left-hand side. Bradman Best have got 2-on-1. Marju scores. Does he get the ball down? There's a question mark. Jared Sutton will point to the spot. Greg Marju is flying in the corner in his first game back from a back injury. Didn't have any signs of being sore there. Brayley comes right out of dummy half for Hazelton. Short to Cahoon. Takes a tackle. 2 away from the line. Newcastle's goal line defence scrambling. They lead 10-0. Here's Aden Fanua Blake. Short rolls over, scores. Jared Sutton's going to go upstairs.
Have no try.
Aden Fanua Blake scores his 6th try of the season. Cronulla are on the board. Left-hand side they go for Trindle. Chance here for Ronaldo Mulitalo to score in the corner. They play it quickly to the left. Clayton Trindle has come up with a foot injury as he's thrown that ball, but it was a pinpoint pass to Ronaldo Mulitalo. Fraley left for Nico Hines. Short ball for Talakai, and Luke Lewis is exactly right. Newcastle can't keep the Sharks out.
The 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Welcome back to Shark Park, where it is half-time. And the home side, the Cronulla Sharks, with an 18 points to 10 lead after coming from 10-0 down over the Newcastle Knights. This is the first of 2 games this Sunday afternoon on ABC Sport. Next, we are off to Lang Park, where the Dolphins can make a big play and keep their top 8 hopes alive with victory over the Gold Coast Titans, who, of course, are still desperate to try to avoid that wooden spoon. Clinton Schifosky and Quentin Hull will be on the call for us. G'day, Q.
G'day, Glenn. It's one of those gorgeous Sunday afternoons where you just wish that there were more Sunday footy games here. It's just brilliant. Even a little bit warm, you'd have to say, for the players. High 20s here in Brisbane, and the Lang Park surface looks the best it has probably almost all season. You know, it's certainly back to the early stages of the year. It just looks absolutely idyllic here for a game which you've set up perfectly, Glenn. There's really only one storyline. The Finns need to win, or their quest to make the finals for the first time is over. They also need to win next week. They'll be praying for South Sydney to upset the Roosters, but all of that means nothing unless they can't get past the Gold Coast side this afternoon, which has lost its last 4, and as you mentioned, they're at the bottom of the table and trying to just get anything out of the back end of what's been another very disappointing season. Phil Sami, who was named in the wing, he's not playing. He's got a groin injury. Tony Francis is going to play on the wing for the Titans. We're not expecting any late changes for the Dolphins. Those final teams are just a few moments away. Clinton, welcome to you. Nice to have you at headquarters on a gorgeous Sunday. What's the sell outside of the obvious?
Oh, great to be here, Q. Yeah, spring's here a day early, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful here, though. The sun's shining, blue sky. I don't know. What will we get with the Titans? We'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting. They've got their new coach, Josh Hannay, so all these players will be no doubt wanting to play well to impress the new coach incoming. We'll be watching, no doubt at all. Tino Fasua-Mala'awi, he's been really outspoken during the week about everything that's wrong with the club, or that was wrong with the club. So I'm expecting him to have a big game and put his best foot forward and show what he's got. So, yeah, I think they'll turn up early. It's just a matter of how long they can sustain it. That's their issue, the Titans.
And you've been in circumstances during your playing career when you realise that, well, the fate's not in your hands, but you can certainly shoot yourselves in the foot. I'm talking from a Dolphins perspective. I mean, they could be brilliant the next 2 weeks and still not make it, but how does Christian Wolf and his men ensure that they go out there and do their thing this afternoon?
Yeah, they've still got plenty to play for. I think they can sneak in. I think South can cause an upset next week.
Oh, really? So
yes.
So not just can, but you think can. You think the Book of Feuds has got an interesting twist in the tail for us?
Well, I'm thinking about going down next Friday for that one. That's how spicy it's going to be.
Wow.
Alex Johnson on the verge of breaking the all-time record. So plenty happening. But, yeah, I think Christian Wolf's a great coach. I think he'll have them up. They've got the wobbles the last couple of weeks, but, yeah, they'll bounce back this afternoon.
So the teams have now just dropped, Glenn. No changes for the Dolphins there, 1-17. And as forecast, Tony Francis in jumper 22 replaces Phil Sami, who has a groin injury on the wing. The replacement players are LJ Nonu for the Dolphins and Cooper Bai for the Titans. Grant Atkins is the ref. Chris Butler's in the bunker. Looking forward to bringing it to you once you're done there.
Good on you, Q. Yeah, looking forward to that one as the Newcastle Knights are already back out on Shark Park, and the Cronulla Sharks are now making their way back out as well, to applause from their home fans with that 18 points to 10 lead. Those 3 tries all coming in the final 15 minutes of that first half, and the way that Newcastle looked a little fatigued in that second half. Luke Lewis, your microphone is on as he's just saying hello to the faithful here at Shark Park, walking past. He knows everyone. He's the mayor of the Shire, is Luke Lewis. And Louis, I get the feeling that, Newcastle looked pretty fatigued in that back end of that first half. They wouldn't have got too much of a rest there, but they need to find something.
Yeah, they do need to find something. Sorry about that too. A couple of groovers walked past, got out. I didn't realise I still had my little red button on, but the fatigue definitely set in there for the Newcastle Knights. If the Sharks are smart here, they've got to complete a few sets early, and they'll get a heap of joy.
Well, Will Kennedy has to take a really good catch low to the ground, coming forward about 15 away from his own goal line. Braden Hamlin-Ueli was ready to come off the back fence, but Will Kennedy, because he had to dive and take the catch, wasn't able to get the pass away. So he takes the tackle. Next play, they come left for Katoa, 25 away from his line, and then they spin it towards Talakai, one of the try scorers in the first half, just before half-time, scoring to make it 18-10. Scooting out of dummy half, one-handed is Blake Brayley, then he does get it away to Hamlin-Ueli. Hamlin-Ueli takes the tackle about a metre short of the halfway line. We'll get down to John Gibbs shortly for an update after half-time, but Will Kennedy is continuing for Cronulla here. He has the tackle. He has the ball about 8 metres inside Newcastle's half. Final play. Hines goes to the skies from just inside Newcastle's territory, and Fletcher Hunt takes the tackle 11 away from the line and about 12 in from the western touchline. He plays the ball for Cogger at dummy half, and now Greg Marju goes on a strong carry with good post-contact metres through those big legs, about 21 away from the line. Plays it for Cogger dummy half. Right-hand side for Dom Young. Dom Young has 3 Cronulla players who have to try to stop him, held up in the tackle. Plays it for Jaden Brayley. One off the ruck comes Dane Gagai. Through the middle they go Newcastle, looking to score the first points of this second half, trailing 18 points to 10. They scored the first 2 in the first half. Here's Jacob Saifidi back on the park for the Knights now. He straightens, goes through the middle. He's 8 short of halfway, centre field, final play. Jaden Brayley comes right out of dummy half, and Cogger kicks from on the 40-metre line. It doesn't matter whether it's inside or outside because it's straight down the ground, and Will Kennedy can return it, then get the pass away, almost splits. The Newcastle defence weren't expecting that, and Kyle Ito is still going. He takes the tackle a metre inside Newcastle's territory. That's a really good play from the Cronulla Sharks here, as now they come right for Nico Hines. Hines takes the tackle 9 inside Newcastle's territory. Will Kennedy, really good eyes up footy there. Playing the ball now is Hines for Brayley, left-hand side for Ito. Kyle Ito tries to bounce away from Kai Pearce-Paul, but he holds on, so too does Phoenix Crossland. About 15 inside Newcastle's territory with an 8-point lead. As Brayley plays it at dummy half right for Tom Hazelton. Hazelton's 25 away from the line. Brayley again scooting, one-handed out at dummy half. Left back towards the ruck, Nico Hines is there. 10 short of Newcastle's line. Chance here for Cronulla to score the first points of the second half. Final play, they run it. Trindle goes to Will Kennedy. Look forward over on the left-hand side for Ronaldo Mulitalo, and they're going to point to the spot. So Mulitalo has a double. The pass, the final pass, looked forward for sure, but the referee and the touch judge were happy with it, and Cronulla lead 22 points to 10 with only 3 gone in the second half.
Yeah, they're about to have a field day, I reckon. You can see the body language already of the Newcastle Knights, but a really nice play right from the kick return there from Will Kennedy back to find Ronaldo Mulitalo at the middle of the field. They kept the ball alive. They looked sharp on both sides of the ruck, and then Will Kennedy comes up with a little bit of a Harbour Bridge pass over the top of the Newcastle Knights defenders, and Ronaldo Mulitalo still has a little bit of work to do here. He hasn't got much room to play with, and just gets the ball in one motion, jumps off both feet, slams it down the corner. Try time Sharkies.
We saw controversy when it came to forward passes last night. 3.5 gone in the second half. John Gibbs and the Sharks on the board again.
Yeah, that was a great start, and I was just about to say before that happened that both coaches at half-time were happy because the Sharks hadn't done really well. They led at half-time, and Newcastle were promising, albeit they sort of faded a bit at the end of that first half. Well, Adam O'Brien wouldn't be happy now, and that was on the back of Blake Brayley, the trademark pick up one hand, dashed out of dummy half, and Ronaldo Mulitalo, back-to-back doubles in 3 consecutive games now, Shark Stadium. The only player to better that was Colin Best, who's done it 4 times.
Yeah, Ronaldo Mulitalo with 6 tries in 3 games at home. Nico Hines from the touchline to look to add the extras. The fans tell the story. He's 4 from 4 this afternoon, and they lead 24 points to 10. The Cronulla Sharks over the Newcastle Knights, 0467 920 222. G'day lads, my thoughts lately have been, apart from 2 or 3 halfbacks this year, most have been bludgers. I think they need to lift their game. Not good enough, says Chriso from Goolwa. Thank you, Chriso. That's interesting feedback. Appreciate that. 0467 920 222 is the text line. Around the grounds in the NRLW, Brisbane absolutely thrashing the Bulldogs, 40 points to 0. Second half New South Wales Cup, Newtown leading Manly 24-20, and the Roosters leading Wests 16 points to 6. So now here's Tom Hazelton with a strong carry from the restart, and he'll take the tackle about 25 away in centre field, getting up and playing at about 15 in from the western touchline actually. Now here's Ronaldo Mulatalo, and he has the ball 30 away from his own line in centre field after scoring his second of the afternoon. Here comes Braden Hamlin-Ueli on a strong carry, 10 short of halfway, 25 in from the eastern touchline. Cronulla looking to keep the pressure on Newcastle here. Go through Talakai, and then it was a short ball for Billy Burns. He takes the tackle 3 away from the halfway line, getting up slowly to play the ball for Blake Brayley again. Short one off the ruck. Another strong carry from Talakai. He's 5 metres or 6 metres inside Newcastle's territory on the final play. Nico Hines puts up the higher kick down the right-hand channel of the Sharks, the left-hand defensive channel of Newcastle, and Greg Marju takes the tackle 20 away from his own goal line. The Sharks leading 24 points to 10, just over 5 gone in the second half.
Yeah, good set after points. They're doing what Newcastle did to them earlier in the first half, and they're just going through their sets, making easy meters up the middle of the field. They can throw it at the back and take a little bit more of a risk and get a little more meters, but they're just happy to get through their sets after points, get to a kick, and they're doing a good job.
Here's Leo Thompson, 10 short of halfway, trying to get Newcastle on the front foot. He'll play the ball 25 in from the eastern touchline. Jaden Brayley, dummy half, comes left for Croker. Dummies goes himself, runs into Tom Hazelton. And then down low, Braden Hamlin-Ueli finishes the job. Final play for Newcastle on halfway. Jaden Brayley comes left for Cogger to put the high kick up in the air down this channel. Waiting for it is Todd, taking it well and then getting whacked over the top immediately after taking the catch by Greg Marju. Plays the ball, gets straight back to his feet though, and Nico Hines gets it away to Will Kennedy. Geez, you would have felt that from where you were down there, touchline, John Gibbs.
Oh, that was a big hit. He runs very hard, Greg Marju. He's hard to stop. He can come up with an error, but he's a good player. There's no doubt about that. Cronulla starting to look good, and they're all talking. And as I said previously, Blake Brayley's now getting out of dummy half and running, and that is the key to the Sharks.
They spin it through the hands of Hines and Trindle over on that left-hand side, and they have it 9 metres away from halfway through Mulitalo. Gets up quickly, plays the ball for Trindle. Open side right, back comes Teague Wilton, slammed on his back, and it was a dangerous tackle. It was above the horizontal by Matt Croker, slamming Wilton into the turf. Ronaldo Mulitalo got injured after that last tackle as well, and he's been on his haunches as well, but Nico Hines can find touch from the halfway line, leading 24-10, 7 gone second half.
Yeah, I didn't find that too bad. I don't even feel like he went above horizontal there. He lands on his back. He wasn't put in a real dangerous position, and it's been put on report. Interesting. But anyway, that's a penalty. And you go to the Sharks. They'll score again. They look so sharp with the ball in hand down this end of the field since the last 10 minutes before half-time and the first 7 or 8 minutes in this game as well.
For mine, I reckon the drive looked worse than the horizontal. Like, he kind of drove him into the turf at the end, but you're right, it wasn't overly dangerous, so we'll wait and see what the match review committee has to say. Kyle Idoi takes the first tackle after the penalty, 20 away from Newcastle's line, and now Hazelton straightens, 13 away. Centre field for Cronulla. 8 gone second half. They've already scored once this half. They're looking for another. Hines close to the line, back on the inside for Talakai. He's only 3 away from the line, adjacent to the left-hand upright. He'll play it for Blake Brayley. Short for Tom Hazelton. They keep him out though. He's only centimetres away. Kai Pearce-Paul and Leo Thompson involved in the defending. Brayley comes long out of dummy half for Trindle. Gets it away to Hines right. Continuing on. Quick hands. Ending up there with Sione Katoa towards the line. And Katoa's only a metre away. Hiroshi Rotti goes into dummy half. Now on the final play, spinning it left. Nico Hines decides to come back towards the right. Chases his own kick, but it's too deep at Grubber, and it'll go out for a 20-metre restart for Newcastle. It was the right idea, but bad execution for Nico Hines. Just tried to kick and chase, but it was way too deep, and Newcastle get a 20-metre restart.
Yeah, doing too many leg weights there, Nico Hines. He's put that on the foot, and it just dead set just keeps rolling. It like to come out of a cannon. He'd be filthy on himself there, but it was a good opportunity. One down that right edge. Good scramble defence though from Newcastle to hold Katoa out.
Here's Dane Gagai getting an offload away to Phoenix Crossland, who takes the tackle 32 away from his own line, 25 in from the eastern touchline. Brayley's at dummy half. Righty goes for Dane Gagai again, and Gagai tries to push the legs to get over the 40-metre line. 9 short of halfway, 15 in from the eastern touchline, trailing 24-10 Newcastle. They spin it to Jacob Saifidi wide left, and he'll take the tackle a metre short of halfway, 22 in from the western touchline. Jaden Brayley scooting out of dummy half, right for Crossland. Then Fletcher Hunt runs out of options, so slows down, looks to pass, and then goes again, almost gets past Wilton, but Wilton brings him down. Jaden Brayley out of dummy half. Cronulla defence on the back foot. Oh, and absolutely whacked was Phoenix Crossland there by Braden Hamlin-Ueli. He gets up, does Crossland, but he's in a bit of trouble here. They play the ball and last through Saifidi. Left-hand side, Cogger. Bradman Best goes towards the touchline, passes back on the inside. Oh, Billy Burns loses the ball as he picks it up. He looked to run the length there, Billy Burns, but he couldn't hold on to the ball, and Newcastle will get the ball back 20 metres away from Cronulla's line, trailing 24-10, 10 gone second half, and Phoenix Crossland over there still down on his haunches after that big hit at the hands of Braden Hamlin-Ueli.
Yeah, I think you got a little bit of whiplash there. Phoenix Crossland was a good shot there from Braden. Just absolutely put everything into it and stopped him right in his track, but Billy Burns couldn't help himself there. He's seen an opportunity up to look upfield, but I reckon he looked up a tad too early. As he went to bend over to pick it up, he looked up into the space, and he forgot to pick the ball up. Oh, I thought the Newcastle Knights would have just been called back here for the scrum feed.
Jared Sutton not happy with the scrum. It's going to get repacked here. Tom Hazelton was, I don't think, packed in correctly, so Jared Sutton's asked for a repack, and Greg Marju is feeding it, and at the base, Jaden Brayley picks it up, and he goes right for Crossland, who gets the ball back on the inside for Jermaine McEwen. So they start this set 19 away from Cronulla's line, Newcastle. Centre field, Brayley will come right, waiting for it is Crossland, gets it away to Kai Pearce-Paul, and he has the ball out 8 metres away from Cronulla's line, 15 in from the eastern touchline. Cronulla 24, Newcastle 10, just under half an hour to go. Left-hand side, they spin it. Cogger gets it away short for McEwen now, and Jermaine McEwen is 10 away from Cronulla's line. The Sharks goal line defence holding firm at the moment is Jacob Saifidi. Short one off the right on the right-hand side, heads towards the line. He's 1.5 metres short. Brayley comes right out of dummy half for Cogger, gets it away to Crossland, was hit possibly late, and then finally Pearce-Paul is 1 metre away from the line. And to scoot into dummy half, and Brayley got the pass away quickly. It went to Mulatalo, and he looked to break away, but he knocked it down as well. And now the referee is saying the pass that Mulatalo almost ended up with was actually forward from Newcastle. So Cronulla do get the ball 10 away from their own goal line with a 24 points to 10 lead and 28 and a half to go.
Yeah, just watching the replay there, looking at Mulatalo, he comes up, and where he is standing, it does hit pretty much on the chest. It wasn't even looking to go for that intercept. If he was, he probably would have been away in the back end of the field there. But Dane Gagai, I love it when he gets passionate about it. He was blowing up at the referee saying how, but that was lucky there for the Sharks.
Yeah, Fletcher Hunt's pass on the replay did look forward, so Sione Katoa will end up with the ball for Cronulla here. 12 away from his own line, centre field, with a 24-10 lead. One off the ruck, left-hand side comes Mulatalo, and he makes it up over the 20-metre line. He's in centre field, 21 metres gone. John Gibbs, Luke Lewis and Glenn Lauder on ABC Sport, with Cronulla coming away from their own end, 30 metres away in centre field. Getting up and playing the ball is Rotti. He plays the ball for Blake Brayley, and then he sends Will Kennedy to within 11 of the halfway line. On the final play, Brayley comes right this time for Nico Hines to kick inside 40, slightly off the side of the boot, but it is okay, and it finds Greg Marju on the full 15 away from his own line, and he returns it up over the 30, 24, 10, 27 to go. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to do there was to sort of corkscrew, come up with something a little bit flash. We saw a good 40-20 in the first half from Jack Cogger. Cronulla, they're busy. They're a lot busier than they were, and all of a sudden, Newcastle going around ever decreasing circles. And I must say, Fletcher Hunt has done a good job as fullback today. Dane Gagai, he's having an ongoing battle with the referee.
And he loses the ball now here, Dane Gagai, playing out on that right-hand side. He had to go back behind him to pick it up, and he dragged it forward as he tried to do so. So Cronulla will get a scrum feed, 13 inside Newcastle's territory. Cronulla 24, Newcastle 10, 26 and a half to go. The pass was a bad one, and Dane Gagai just couldn't do much about it, Louis.
Yeah, it was a horrible pass there to Dane Gagai. He had no other option there. He stuck his hand out. He was hoping that he could pull it in, but he knocks it on. But gives the Sharks perfect field position. And I did say it last time, but I just feel like the Sharks are about to cross. It's looming, and then looking at the body language again, like I'm big on, and the body language from the Newcastle Knights is not good.
Brisbane leading the Bulldogs 44-0 in the second half. NRLW, they win the scrum. Cronulla, they go short left. Kyle Ido is put on his back in a strong tackle, 35 away from Newcastle's line. Your text message is welcome, 0467 920 222. Teague Wilton gets the pass away to Trindle, takes it up over the 30-metre line. He's brought to ground 26 away from Newcastle's goal line. Getting up quickly, playing the ball, open side left they come. And Nico Hines changes direction, and see if Talakai will have the ball about 17 away from the line. Brayley waiting for it at dummy half. He comes left for Nico Hines, short for Tom Hazelton. Luke Lewis picked it in the first half. Will he pick it again? Can Cronulla go over here? They're 7 metres short. Blake Brayley comes right. Nico Hines gets it away to Braden Hamlin-Ueli. Almost gets past. They hold on desperately. He goes towards the goal line. He's going to be held up in goal. But even just to get to the in goal was really strong carry there from Hamlin-Ueli. It'll be the last play. He'll have to go back to the 10-metre line.
Hold square, Jaden.
And they have one more play at the Newcastle line. Hamlin-Ueli plays it. They come short. Blake Brayley goes too short for Billy Burns. He changes direction. Braden Hamlin-Ueli. Talakai gets it away to Hepaputu on the field now. They come left. Will Kennedy grubbers towards the in goal. He was flying through, and Fletcher Hunt has to bat it over the dead ball line one-handed because Will Kennedy's little grubber chase was absolutely sensational. There was nothing Hunt can do. Goal line dropout Newcastle. Cronulla 24, Newcastle 10, 25 to go.
Yeah, that was just playing off the cuffs there from the Cronulla Sharks, and Billy Burns wasn't really expecting the short ball on the short side on play 5. He kept the ball alive, and I reckon if they shifted to that left edge, they might have troubled the Newcastle Knights, but second best option there.
Gagai goes short towards Newcastle's right, but it bounces and goes over the touchline outside the 10-metre line. Oh, Dane Gagai's come up with a sensational kick there. I'm not sure whether he meant it, but he's kicked it towards the right-hand side. It's bounced about 9.5 metres away from the line, gone over the touchline, past the 10-metre plane, and Newcastle get a scrum 10 away from their own goal line.
Yeah, well, I've seen these before and go nowhere near it, and I'm happy for the touch judges to do that, but be consistent with it. I've seen them over the last 6 to 8 weeks. That's been given the oppositions. That should have been going to the Sharks. That is so bizarre. But anyway, happy with it.
Parramatta came up with one last week against the Roosters as well. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Just a couple of things, Glenn. Importantly, Braden Trindle has left the field, has been replaced by Hepa Paru. So what we need is a bit of a change up there in the positions. We'll get that as soon as we work it out. But he was trod on when he set up the try for Mulatalo. I hope there's no bone damage, but he was really hurt when it happened, and he's left the field.
Blake Brayley's gone to half on the left edge, and Hepa Puru's in the middle.
Hepaputu played big minutes against the Gold Coast a couple of weeks ago as well, so I'm sure he'll get through this one okay as they come left Newcastle here through Jack Cogger, and Cogger has the ball a metre away from the halfway line centre field. Jaden Brayley out of dummy half, goes right for Saifidi, bounces away from one and then takes the tackle 10 metres inside Cronulla's territory on the final play. They come short right-hand side, and putting the high kick up in the air on the field is Jake Arthur for Newcastle as well now. Will Kennedy takes it comfortably, and then he's wrapped up by Kai Pearce-Paul in the chase, about 10 away from Cronulla's line. They lead 24 points to 10, and they send it to the right-hand side, where Sione Katoa will take the tackle 12 away from the line, and then it's a strong carry here to take it up over the 20 by Mulitalo, about 25 away from his line. Brayley quickly picks it up out of dummy half and sends Hiroti on his way, and Moena Hiroti takes the tackle about 36 away centre field, still with his 24 points to 10 lead. Brayley scooting out of dummy dummy half and kicking as well, looking for a 40-20. There's no one back there, but it goes out about 25 away from Newcastle's line. So the right idea from inside 40, but it didn't quite go the distance, and Newcastle get to play the ball 25 away from their own goal line, trailing 24-10 and 22 to go.
Yeah, well, you were thinking 40-20 there, Bailey. Just couldn't get the distance. He got the angle, just couldn't get the distance right. But I don't know. I feel like this game's gone a little bit stale for the last 10 minutes. Just need a little bit of something to happen.
44-0, Brisbane lead the Bulldogs in the. That's full time now in the NRLW. So a huge win for the Broncos. Newcastle have won the scrum. They go to Dane Gagai to the right-hand side, and Dom Young has the ball 8 metres short of the halfway line, 20 in from the eastern touchline. Arthur goes into dummy half. Come left. Cogger gets it away, and then Jermaine McEwen will take the tackle a metre short of halfway, and 17 in from the western touchline. They come short towards his left-hand side. Cogger gets it away to Bradman Best, and Bradman Best is wrapped up by 3 players there. Nico Hines, Tom Hazelton involved along with Billy Burns. Now they come right. Here's Jaden Brayley to Jacob Saifidi. Saifidi straightens through the middle and takes a tackle 30 away from the line in centre field. Final play for Newcastle. Trail 24 points to 10 as Jake Arthur goes to the skies. It's towards that northeastern corner and coming a long way forward to Smulitalo. Didn't get there. Fletcher Hunt gets it. Still the last Newcastle. He runs into his own player, so he has to run back the other way. Then he kicks. It's a horrible kick. Tom Hazelton. Oh, the Cronulla fans wanted to see Tom Hazelton run 80. Instead, he ran about a metre, and then he took the tackle as they come one off the ruck right-hand side, and Kyle Ito will, I beg your pardon, Kyle will take the tackle 30 metres away from the line in centre field. Now they come to the right-hand side, and it's a strong carry again here from Sione Katoa to take the tackle 9 short of halfway. Blake Brayley dummy half, left-hand side for Nico Hines, and Cahoon now will take the tackle 5 short of halfway centre field. With a 24 points to 10 lead and a quarter of this game to go. Brayley dummy half goes himself. He's wrapped up though by Jacob Saifidi at marker. Final play for Cronulla, 5 inside Newcastle's territory. As Nico Hines puts the kick up, it's a slightly wobbly one as well. Greg Marju takes it 2 or 3 metres in from the western touchline and 18 away from his own line, and they do really well, the Cronulla Sharks, to keep him on his feet. Billy Burns drags him over the touchline with help from, who was that down there, Mawin Hiroti. So really good tackle from Hiroti and Burns to drag Marju over the touchline and win the ball back for Cronulla, 18 away from Newcastle's line, and this will be a real test of Newcastle's defence, trailing 24-10.
Yeah, it'll be a massive test now here for the Newcastle Knight, but that's a big play. You got Marzu, he's a very strong human being, so to get down there, hold him up, and then drag him over into the touchline, it's a big play there from Billy Burns and Hiroti. So well done there to the Sharkies. Now can they make Newcastle Knights play with this field position?
Hazelton plays it, 19 away from the line. They come left at Fanua. Blake's put on his back, 10 short of the goal line. Gets up and plays it for Brayley. Scoots across field, then gives it to Cahoon, who changes direction and goes to within 2 metres of the line. 6 again here for the Cronulla Sharks, and Newcastle to defend. They come left out of dummy half for Brayley. Hines short. And Fanua Blake once again really close to the line. He's kept away at this stage. Brayley waiting again at dummy half. He's looking left, he goes left. Nico Hines is waiting. Kailito close to the line, and Kailito is taken 3 metres away. Gets up and plays it 10 in from the eastern touchline. Brayley comes open side right for Hines. Gets it to Hazelton. Hazelton rolls off a defender, and then he's brought to ground. 3 short of the goal line, adjacent to the left-hand upright. 18 to go. Cronulla by 14. Brayley comes right. Hines, short ball, Billy Burns. Gets the offload over the top of the way to Hiroti, who scores in the corner. And they weren't able to keep them out, Newcastle, particularly after the repeat set was given. Hiroti scores in the corner. 28 points to 10. Cronulla lead with a kick to come from about 3 inside this western touchline. When Hiroti has his 5th of the season, and Cronulla home and hosed, you'd have to think 28-10 with 18 to go and a kick to come.
Well, hasn't Billy Burns had a big minute and a half here? He comes up with a big play on Greg Marju, pushes him out, gets a repeat set there for the Sharks, and then right here runs a really nice little overs line, and then he keeps the ball alive. He throws a bit of a different type of pass as he goes into the tackle, just throws over the top as easy as you like, a bit more like a basketball shot, and it lands straight into Hiroti's arms, and all he had to do is dive over the line. It's a really nice try. Good work there from Billy Burns, and the Sharks, you're probably right, 28 points to 10 with a kick to come, 7.5 minutes left on the clock. You think think it's game over.
It was like a fadeaway jump shot in basketball.
Wasn't it?
It was going to ground. Really good pass from Billy Burns. And John Gibbs on the touchline. Cronulla looking good at the moment.
Yeah, they're looking good, but the Newcastle don't have the attacking prowess to get out of this, so they're gone. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's a great chance in this last 18 minutes or so, 17, 18 minutes, to show what they can do. That crowd, incidentally, 12,234. 12,234, and they'll all be back here first week of the finals for a home final. I'll pack it out.
Thank you, Gibbsy. Nico Hines, 3 inside the Western touchline. 4 from 4 this afternoon so far. Moves in and strikes this one towards the post, but it just doesn't get the curl he was looking for. So he's 4 from 5, and Cronulla continuing to hold on to this 28 points to 10 lead. 0467920222 CNL in Cairns. Hi Glenn, great weekend of footy. Thank you for your text message. Hope you're well in Cairns. And hey Louis, still not convinced with our Sharks. Are you up for the assistance job? If not, who's your choice? Don't think they'll make a dent to the semi. Frustrated supporter David.
I'd love the assistant job, David. I really would.
On your run.
I'm not even Gene up.
0467920222. They go short for the kickoff, Newcastle. It's batted back and they maintain possession as well. So that was good stuff from Kai Pearce-Paul to win the ball. And then he batted it back for Jaden Brayley. They had the ball here in Newcastle through Jacob Saifidi. 25 away from the line and about 25 in from the Western touchline. They go Eastern touchline, I beg your pardon. They come left for Cogger. Gets it away to Leo Thompson, who takes the tackle 19 away from the line, and he loses the ball, but there was a hand in there, and so the penalty is taken quickly by Jaden Brayley. Just took the tap and went. There was no mark. The referee was happy for him to go. Jacob Saifidi gets the pass and takes the tackle 9 short of the line centre field. Brayley waiting at dummy half. Gets it away to Jake Arthur on the right. Takes the tackle. Not sure about being allowed to take that tap so quickly when there was no mark, but anyway, they come left. Crossland gets it away, and Cogger is held in the tackle 15 short of Cronulla's line. The Sharks lead 28-10, 15 to go. Brayley's at dummy half. Right, Crossland, Arthur, no real options here for Newcastle. Kai Pearce-Paul stops and then takes the tackle 19 away. They're looking a bit rudderless in attack here. They come left. Crossland gets it away to Leo Thompson, who takes the tackle 9 away from the line. Final play. He'll play it for Brayley. Comes right out of dummy half. Jake Arthur will kick crossfield. Still in the field of play for Dom Young, who takes it, gets it backwards. Kai Pearce-Paul doesn't decide to pass. Gets the flick pass away now to Gagai. They come left. Fletcher Hunt dummies. They don't really know what they're going to do here. Now they might think about spinning it. No, Young grubbers through. Adam Fanua-Blake is there to pick it up for Cronulla, and he runs it back into the Newcastle defence and takes the tackle 15 away from the line with a 28 points to 10 lead. Cronulla. Newcastle had no idea what to do on the final play there.
Yeah, that was ugly. Ugly in every possible way. But they've dropped the ball here, the Sharks. Another opportunity.
Pearce-Paul has picked it up. He goes towards the 20-metre line. So an error there from Teague Wilton. Picked up by Pearce-Paul. Newcastle on the attack again. Saifidi, one off the ruck left-hand side. 10 metres away from Cronulla's line, centre field. Gets up quickly, plays it. Jaden Brayley to come back right. Jake Arthur's waiting. Jinks back towards traffic. Takes the tackle. 7 away from the line. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Brayley out of dummy half. 3 steps left. Gets it away to Cogger. Keeps it alive. Fletcher Hunt. Dummies. Comes back towards the inside. Still going. And Fletcher Hunt is brought to ground 4 away from the line. 15 in from the western touchline. Brayley right out of dummy half. Cogger gets it away to Leo Thompson. Bounces away from a couple, but they hold on again, and Leo Thompson gets the offload away. Crossland after it bounced. Goes away to Arthur. Long ball over the top. Dong Young. He runs out of room, so he comes back into the middle. Dom Young bounces away from Will Kennedy. Still going, Dom Young. Takes a tackle. 3 away from the line. They come back left. Jake Arthur, first receiver. Crossland. Out the back, Cogger. Kicks towards Greg Marju's corner, but it's taken very easily in the end goal by Sione Katoa. 20-metre restart for Cronulla. 28-10, 13 and a half to go. Newcastle have zero idea what to do in attack.
Yeah, they look horrible. Absolutely. The only one who looks like he's half threatening is Fletcher Hunt. He's the only one who looks like he's going to do something when he's got the ball in hand. He gets the Sharks a little bit nervous, but everyone else, I know they get the ball flat-footed. They're not running into holes. I don't feel like there's any organisation out there. I don't know what they're doing, the Newcastle Newcastle Knights.
Well, tries to break the gap. He's over the halfway line and brought to ground 9 inside Newcastle's territory. Haven't been down here for a little while, Cronulla, so they come left. Colquhoun changes direction. Toby Rudolph back on the field, fresh and strong carry up over the 30-metre line. He's held up in the tackle, 25 away from Newcastle's line. Plays the ball, Brayley out of dummy half. Addin Fanua-Blake is so much faster, Cronulla. 10 metres away from the line. He gets a quick play the ball for Brayley at dummy half. Left he goes. Huru bounces away, gets the pass to Nico Hines, a metre away from the line. Final play for Cronulla. Hines will play it for Brayley. Coming left, Will Kennedy changes direction, gets the grubbers towards the in goal. Mulitalo is chasing Fletcher. Hunt's there again, and it's a high shot from Mulitalo on Fletcher Hunt underneath the sticks, and they will get a penalty. Newcastle about 30 centimetres away from their own goal line, and now there's a bit of a push and shove after that hit by Mulitalo on Fletcher Hunt.
Yeah, I'd like to see this little hit again. Nice little kick there from Will Kennedy.
Get out.
He goes.
I think the little melee just happened from Ronaldo just finishing it off on the floor.
Yeah, he just jumped on him at the end there, didn't he, Ronaldo Mulitalo? But when he got him the first time, it was pretty much
a bit of a bear hug, going in for a ball and all bear hug, but just slips out of the tackle. That's why they get the penalty.
Mate, you got a penalty here, and he wants to run 30 metres. No, Dave, it's not even a discussion, mate. That's just rubbish.
Yeah, so
behind it, Greg.
Jared Sutton's not very happy with Greg Marju, who flew in from nowhere to get involved in the scuffle. Touchline, John Gibbs, as Newcastle find touch 15 away from their line.
Yeah, Greg Marju, he's back out there now. He's going to get the ball. He picks it up. That was just a little bit of a fracas. It was nothing. It's been a little bit of a disjointed game. You've seen why Newcastle need all of their players on deck, because their attack is hopeless. That's why they've scored less points than anyone else in the comp.
Yeah, just a small brouhaha involving Greg Marju there, and now McEwen plays it 30 away from his line. They go to the right-hand side. They have Leo Moana on the field for them now. Celeste Leo Moana. He will play the ball 10 short of halfway. On off the ruck goes Leo Thompson, 5 away from the halfway line. Plays it for Brayley, left-hand side for Tyson Frizzell. Takes the tackle of his opposite number, Colquhoun, about 8 metres inside Cronulla's half. Final play for Newcastle. They trail 28-10. There's 11 to go. Cogger puts the kick downfield through this left channel. Will Kennedy takes it in the air cleanly. Bradman Best comes over the top to finish him off as he hits the ground. 10 away from the western touchline and 15 away from the goal line at this northern end of Cronulla as they come away from that end through Sione Katoa, crabbing from right to left and then taking the tackle on the 20-metre line, 20 in from the eastern touchline. 10.5 to go in this game at Shark Park, and Cronulla not necessarily playing at finals intensity as Kyle Ito will take the tackle 23 away from his line. It's been a pretty slow game, this one. Ronaldo Mulitalo has the ball about 30 metres away from the line and gets up and plays the ball. Cronulla just doing the clock watching. Louis
100%. That's exactly what they do. I reckon they're looked up now. They know they've got the game in the bag. They're obviously a little bit of fatigue, and they're just trying to wind the clock down. They've only got 5 more defensive sets. That's what they'll be trying to get through.
Nico Hines kicks from inside 40. Low stabbing kick on the last. Taken on the full by Marju. 10 away from his line. And he gets up over the 20, up over the 30. It's a strong carry from Marju because he'll play this only 11 short of halfway quickly as well. Coggers at dummy half. Righty goes one off the ruck for Bradman Best. Best almost finds a way through, but he's about 1.5 metres short of halfway. 20 in from us at the western touchline. Cogger dummy half comes right for Frizzell through the hands of Jake Arthur. On it goes to Dom Young. Dom Young goes into traffic over on that eastern side, and he's held up in a tackle 5 metres inside Cronulla's half as Toby Rudolph gets involved as well. They come back left now. Jaden Brayley's at first receiver, and now Celeste Leomoana will go on a decent carry up over the 40-metre line. He's about 33 away from Cronulla's goal line in centre field. So out of dummy half is Brayley again. Now Frizzell gets the ball away to Leo Thompson, who loses it cold. Picked up by Will Kennedy. They come left, and they could be away here. Ronaldo Mulitalo is looking for a hat-trick. Gets it back on the inside for Will Kennedy. Oh, he's running rings around Dane Gagai. Back to Mulitalo. Kyle Ito's in support, but he won't need him. Ronaldo Mulitalo scores a hat-trick, and Dane Gagai was being played with there by Will Kennedy. Back and forth between Kennedy and Mulitalo. It is Ronaldo who scores the try, and it is Cronulla leading 32 points to 10 with a kick to come. 8:40 to go.
Yeah, beautiful reaction here from Ronaldo Mulitalo in the backfield. There's not a whole lot going on. A bit of a drop ball. There was a pressure pass there from Frizzell. Will Kennedy picks it up, skips the crossfield, and then all of a sudden he just punches into a hole. Really good recognition there from Ronaldo Mulatalo. You could feel the speed coming back up on his inside, so he picks up Will Kennedy, and you're 100% right. He toys with Dane Gagai there, and then he had KL on his inside. I thought he was going to pass to him, but he did the right option to hold it, because I reckon he would have got tackled, and he used his speed and his strength to get over the line. That's a great try there from Ronaldo Mulatalo.
Touchline, Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, he certainly turned him inside out, didn't he? Dane Gagai was turned inside out by Will Kennedy. Mulatalo, he's a freak, and he's a great try scorer here. I've just been doing some numbers. That's now 45 tries in 42 games at Shark Park. That is a phenomenal record. And look, Cronulla, they're going to win this game easily. I'd be more concerned about the foot injury sustained by Braden Trindle. Hopefully scans won't be needed and he'll be okay, but I'm just worried that it was stomped on and that could be a problem. KL Lero is doing some good things, and it'll be good when they get Jesse Ramian back. Have you seen him around the Shire? Louis, he's got the sore thumb. I think he should be back for the first week of the finals.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. I think he's tracking. He could be ready, almost ready for next week.
Good. That'll be good news for Cronulla. Moen Hiroti's been doing a good job as well in the centres, and of course Kale Iro back today as well. So Sifa Talakai is another one that they've got in those positions, and now Nico Hines makes no mistake with the extras. He's 5 from 6 this afternoon. Yeah, Cronulla in their last 5 games here at home have now scored 20 plus in all of those games. This will be 6 in a row for the first time since 2016, and we all know what happened in 2016 down here in the Shire as well. So that could be a potential omen, although they've still got a long way to go once they make the finals. And Gagai will get the restart underway. 0467920222. Listening to the game on the train to Sydney. Loving the score. Up Cronulla, says Curtly. Louis, you can't be assistant. We need you here, says Mickey Cairns. And do the Sharks finish 5th and play the Roosters week 1 of finals? Thoughts, Grimesy? Well, 5th plays 8th, obviously. It looks possibly that way, depending on what happens next week. Gagai will kick short for himself, straight through the middle, but Colquhoun can get back there and dive on it, and Gagai completes the tackle, so Cronulla will get the ball back, but they get it about 24 away from their line, and Will Kennedy out of dummy half comes one off the ruck, short right-hand side, and Cronulla 30 metres away from their own goal line, getting up and playing it eventually after a strong tackle, too strong by Jermaine McEwen, keeps going on the Moen Hiroti, and so Cronulla get the penalty 30 away from their own line. That is just frustration from Jermaine McEwen, had a second attempt on the ground.
Yeah. I feel like they're just fully frustrated. The Newcastle Knights all over the park. Wouldn't surprise me to get another 2 quick tries here before full time. So we'll probably get a stoppage here. Second ball on the field. Unless someone goes back and gets it.
Greg Marju was looking at it, and now he does as the ball goes back to the left-hand side. He flicks the ball out the back to the ball boy, and Adam Fanua-Blake can run through the middle and take the tackle about 15 inside Newcastle's half centre field. Gets up, wants the penalty there. He was trying to pretend that Tyson Frizzell wasn't onside at marker. They get 6 again, and they continue to the left through Puru, who'll take the tackle about 17 or 27, make it away from Newcastle's line. 34 points to 10, 6 minutes to go. Cronulla over the Newcastle Knights, and now here's Toby Rudolph going towards the 20-metre line. He makes it up over the 20, and another 3 or 4 post-contact metres as well. So he's 16, 17 away from Newcastle's line. Plays it for Brayley, short left for Puru. Doesn't know what to do, then gets it away to Teague Wilton eventually. Teague Wilton, strong run towards the line. He's only 3 away. You can hear the Sharkies call from the crowd here now. They're up and about. Blake Brayley crabs across field. Short ball for Colquhoun towards the line, but the defence closes the gap, and he's centimetres away, held up in the tackle. He'll get free of those defenders and play the ball eventually. Frizzell was around the legs. Brayley comes right. Nico Hines back on the inside. Mulatalo looking for 4. He's short, centimetres away. Dragged back down, but he loses the ball. He was trying to plant it. Tyson Frizzell was holding on. I reckon if he didn't plant it, they might have got a penalty there, because Tyson Frizzell threw him back to ground.
Yeah, ball plant. Penalty for back chat.
Yeah, it was the ball plant. Like if he doesn't ball plant there, and now they're back chatted.
Mate, that's it. Intersection, mate. We're going. He ball plants. We're going.
Pretty simple explanation there from Jared Sutton. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, but that situation there, he had the ball. He put the ball down on the ground. You've got to put the ball down when you play the ball. He was waiting there, got pushed over. That's one of those situations where you could rue, squandering your captain's challenge. It's not going to matter in this match, but that's something that Craig Fitzgibbon's going to have to address.
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious one as they come open side right for Jermaine McEwen, and he takes the tackle for Newcastle, 7 away from Cronulla's from the halfway line. They come open side right again for Leo Thompson. Cronulla 34 leading Newcastle 10. 4.5 to go second half. We're off to Lang Park next. There was a hand on the ball there from Colquhoun, and Newcastle get a penalty a metre inside Cronulla's territory with John Gibbs, Luke Lewis and Glenn Lauder. John Gibbs almost getting hit again with the ball there as it goes over this western touchline. You're in the sights of the touch finders today, Gibbsy.
Well, I'm fresh. I've stretched the hammies and the quadriceps, ready to go.
He wants a run, John Gibbs, as the Newcastle Knights have the ball about the 26 now away after some strong post contact meters there. Getting up and playing the ball in the centre of the field there is Celesa Leomoana. They come to the right hand side. Good offload there with Jaden Brayley backing up. It was Kai Pearce-Paul who was on the ground pretty much, but he got the offload away as he was almost there. And then Brayley is tackled 21 away from the line. They come left for Frizzell. Cogger tries to go underneath Colquhoun, but he takes the tackle and gets up and plays it 20 away from the line. Back towards the middle goes Tyson Frizzell, bounces off a couple, still going Frizzell, gets it away to Arthur, out the back for Dane Gagai. Gagai goes right and comes back left, gets away from Adam Fanua-Blake, and then thinks about passing, but he's still going, Dane Gagai, and he takes the tackle 10 away from the line, 20 in from the eastern touchline with 3 minutes to go. They come left, Jake Arthur trying to find a way through. He's 7 short of the line, adjacent to the right hand upright. Final play, Brayley scoots out a dummy half towards the post. He's got in support, Celesa Laumoana, and he'll score the try under the post. That was really easy for Newcastle. Cronulla had kind of stopped there with Brayley looked to have been held under the sticks, managed to get the pass away, and Elijah Celesa Laumoana has just strolled over and scored a really simple try under the post in just his 6th NRL game. He gets his first career try, and Newcastle are on the board for the second half, but still trail 34-14 with a kick to come.
Yeah, Laumoana, he'll be cheering that he gets that pass off Brayley there. It was a really nice run. I thought he was going to go himself if he got out of that tackle, but they just held onto his shorts, and he just gets a nice little pass, and then as he looks up, Laumoana, he's got no one in front of him, and just plants the ball right underneath the black dot, scores a simple try.
We'll come down to Gibbsy in just a moment because Jack Cogger is about to move in and strike this one, and he makes no mistake, it was ugly, but it got over the black dot touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, good work there by Big Brayley, Jaden, big brother Jaden, and yeah, good work by Elijah to score his first try, first grade. I know it doesn't really matter, but Craig Fitzgibbon would be really disappointed with that because that was ordinary, close to the line. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the quickest dummy half, Jaden Brayley, as he gets on in advancing years, and he certainly opened them up like a can of sardines. Other coaches will be looking on and viewing that.
Several text messages on a similar theme here. The Knights' lack of attack could be why fans don't want their attack coach to be head coach, says Nick in Newey. Hi, fellas, can you please explain if the Knights have the worst attack in the comp? How could they even consider the attack coach to be the main man, says 90 from Gatton in Queensland. G'day, boys. Blake Green is the Knights' attack coach. Broom needed ring Holbrook today, says Al from Yass.
I heard he doesn't get much say, though.
Okay, that's interesting. Adam O'Brien sort of...
takes over all. Yeah. That's why I think that I've heard on the grapevine from good sources that he doesn't, like he listens to it, but he doesn't let other people take control.
Right, he doesn't have his, Blake Green doesn't have his hands on the actual work. That's interesting, yeah. So Dom Young has the ball 30 metres away from Newcastle's line. There's a minute 50 to go. 34 points to 16. Cronulla lead Newcastle. Tyson Frizzell gets the ball away in an offload to Brayley. On it goes now to Hunt, then spin through the hands on. Leo Thompson has passed it to the touch judge on the far side. If Damien Brady was watching, he could have run 60, 70 metres and scored. But it was nowhere near any one of his players, and that's the last time a front rower should ever try a cutout pass.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask you this question. Does the Sharks score before full time? 1 minute and 23 seconds left on the clock, and they're 30 metres on play one.
I'm backing them in. They'll play the ball through Hamlin Ueli. Blake Brayley comes to the right-hand side, links up with Hiroti, 23 metres away from Newcastle's line. Brayley will come left for Nico Hines. Depends how much they want it. Jesse Colquhoun will take the tackle 20 away in centre field. A minute to go now. Play 3, left-hand side, Brayley, Hines. back on the inside, Rudolph. Toby Rudolph doesn't want the offload, gets the post-contact meters, goes to ground 10 away from the line. Terrible play, the ball, but he gets away with it. Brayley back on the inside, Nico Hines will not get his arm out and reach and score. He's just short of the line. He'll play it centimetres away. Brayley, short, Braden Hamlin-Ueli scores. Cronulla will make it 40 points. 38 points to 14. The 38 points to 16. The Cronulla Sharks are celebrating. There's 30 seconds to go, and Braden Hamlin-Ueli crashes over the line for his second of the season, Louis.
Yeah, well, you backed yourself, and they got over as easy as you like. And Nico Hines almost goes over the play before, and then Brayley jumps in at dummy half. He's had a really good game there. Comes out, looks like he's going to play at the back. Hits a little bit of an overs line there with Braden Hamlin-Ueli, and he goes over as easy as you like. Nice try there from the Sharkies, and they're going to rack it up. I'm going to back him in to kick it and make the score 40-16 Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah, I just mentioned that. They're going to get 40 here, so I'm backing him in early as well. Nico Hines, 21 metres in. Make it 19 metres in from the western touchline. He's having an ongoing discussion with Jared Sutton, which is all quite moot at the moment.
Put it on the ground before you're up to ball plant. You lose your rights.
I think he was asking about the ball plant still that was happening ages ago, which was quite open and shut. I don't see the point of complaining about that now, but Nico Hines also was probably just letting the clock wind down a little bit there. So now he will kick after the full-time siren to make it 40 points to 16. And a dominant performance by the Cronulla Sharks without really getting out of second gear, you'd have to say. They've been fairly comfortable. They conceded the first two tries. They haven't looked like a team that has run rampant this afternoon, but they've still racked up 38, make it 40. As Nico Hines adds the extras, he finishes with 6 from 7 this afternoon, and Luke Lewis 40 points to 16 over the Newcastle Knights. That is another game that the Newcastle Knights have lost by, well, not quite 30 plus. They've avoided losing by 30 plus for 4 straight games. It's a 26-point defeat, and it's another one to put up for the Newcastle Knights. That's 8 straight.
Yeah, I feel like the Newcastle Knights can't wait to get to the end of the season, the way that they're playing at the moment. But they need a massive off-season. They've got to get fitter. They've got to work harder on their defence and especially their attack. And look, the Sharks didn't play their best today. They probably just did enough to get through their sets and stay in the grind with them for a little bit, and then all of a sudden a couple of simple tries and they still lay on 40. So that's good there for the Sharkies. But yeah, look, I don't know, Brian, well, what do you do? You know you've got nothing there next year. What do you do next week? Go out and have fun all week and maybe just rock up next weekend and play with a bit of a smile on your face and just see what you can do.
Yeah, they head to Parramatta next week. You're right. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to play for in terms of Adam O'Brien's future as a coach. But if the Gold Coast Titans win this afternoon, then that's, staring down the barrel of a wooden spoon for Newcastle. And it's a proud club. And, surely players would try to do anything next week to avoid a wooden spoon because, you don't particularly want that on your record after this season. So, there still is something to play for this Newcastle Knights side. In terms of Cronulla, they've got the job done. But as you say, Louis, they didn't have to particularly work too hard for it in that second half. We're waiting for some immediate reaction here with John Gibbs. We'll be heading down to him in just a few moments. Let's get down to Gibbsy now.
This is one today.
Yeah, no, he didn't get one, unfortunately, but KL, good to come back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I've been itching for a few weeks now. I hate being off the field, so it's good to finally be back in.
And how is the pec? You got through it okay?
Yeah, it's pretty strong now. It took a while to get my range back. Then once I got my range back, my strength came back pretty quick. And it's got a bit of size back too, so which is good. But overall pretty good.
Yeah, KL, I've got to say, it was a little bit of a ordinary start by you boys. You were down 10-0. Yeah. Obviously a game you're expected to win and, make a surge up the table as far as you can get. But you sort of got into rhythm, though.
Yeah, for sure. We knew the Knights were going to come out hard because it's hard when the team's got nothing to lose. They just come out firing. They just they want to end their season strong as well. So we stuck in it and we got to the end of the game. Got to the end of the game and got to get away with the dub as well.
Yeah, and on that left side. Ronnie Mulatalo can score a try here. He scored, I think, 45 and 42 games at Shark Park. Loves it. You're doing your part, though, with him.
Yeah, he loves the try. I wish he passed me the ball at the end there, going to the sticks, but he wanted a hat-trick, so next time.
Now, the Dogs next Saturday night at Stadium Australia. We won't know what sort of side the Dogs are going to have, but you boys need to keep producing and sort of, really focusing on getting things right for the finals.
Yeah, we're going on one game at a time. Dogs is a big game for us. They're always a strong team. I think they're the best defensive side in the NRL at the moment. So we just got to go out there, do our best, and bring what we can bring. And
KL, good to have you back.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, KL Ito, 140 metres today, plus an offload as we get back down to Gidsy again.
Yeah, and Blake Fraley joins me. Captain today. Good win in the end. You must have been wanting to resign after the first 15.
Yeah, the first 15 was tough. Obviously, turned up ready to play and full of energy. And sometimes when you come off the bye, it takes a while to get your lungs back. And we definitely felt that. But it's good to see we can overcome some adversity there and score some good points late.
I just spoke to KL Ito. It was good to have him back. Gives you some punch on that left side. I mean, his combination with Ronaldo Mulatalo is very good.
Yeah, definitely. When we had Siffa there, it was a great side, and now with a player like Kale to come through too, it makes our side even stronger. And I think he showed his class tonight. He's one of the best centers in the world, and the way he carries the ball and can beat defenders and bump off players, it's outstanding. And I'm so glad he's on our side.
Now this was a Bailey Cup, of course. Your big brother Jaden set up the last try there for Elijah. I thought he was going to score himself. You would have never heard the end of it. What sort of chats have been during the week?
Yeah, not too much chat. I'm sure there'll be a bit more now, but I'm actually kind of glad he passed that ball. He's still on the nudie, and I really thought he was going to score there. So, it's always good to diverse the big bro. Obviously, I grew up watching him and admiring his game, and to get one over him is pretty good.
Blake, the side has not had a lot of success in finals games, and there's some pressure that's been brought to bear. What do you think you've got to do better to really take the next step?
Yeah, I think defend better. Even though we lead 16 points, we still want to improve. The best sides are the best defensive sides, and we know that, and we're working hard towards that. But in the last few years, we probably dipped in form coming into finals and these last few games, but I feel like we're really accelerating there, which is a great sign for obviously our team and our club, and hopefully we can keep accelerating forward towards the back end in the final series.
Now, finally, I know you want to let your football do the talking. No updates on your contract situation?
It'll be sorted soon. That's obviously playing here, and the club knows how I feel about this place, and I can't say too much about it. It'll be sorted soon.
You've said it all. Thanks, Blake.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Blake Braley. All suggestions are that he'll sign a contract extension to stay at the Cronulla Sharks, despite being off contract at the end of next year. It looks like he'll be here for a few more years. He only had to make 35 tackles today. His brother Jaden made 48. He was the tackle leader for the Newcastle Knights this afternoon. Good news for Jaden Braley, I suppose. He's put a run of games together. He hasn't missed one since round 2 last year after that shocking injury toll, of course, heading to Canberra next season. Luke Lewis, let's have a look at your ABC Player of the Year points.
Yeah, well, that man we just had on air, he's going to get my 3. Blake Braley, I thought he was really good through the middle of the field. When he started running, after that sort of first 20-minute stint, he really got the Sharks on the front foot. So he got my 3. I went the winger for the Sharkies, Ronaldo Mulatalo, 3 tries, had his hands in everything. He was looking for work. He'd done a lot of work out of the back end, so he gets my 2. And I went the the fullback for the Sharks as well, Will Kennedy. Thought he was really good this afternoon also.
Well, Kennedy making 152 metres. Ronaldo